presented by your Southern California Cadillac dealers right here on Valley Sports. After a disastrous road trip, Halos finally back home, looking to regroup, refocus, and get back to their winning ways as they welcome the Red Sox to town for 4 to kick off a 7-game homestand. Here's on top of the next 30 minutes on what we like to call the big show. We have some Angel greats to give us some advice. Wait till you see who is here with me on set. Thor. He likes throwing here on the mound at the Big A, and Jared Walsh has been that ray of sunshine when some dark storm clouds have been creeping in. As we welcome you to the show, look at who is on set with us today. I kicked aside the bat phone, got the Halo hotline. I said, we need some help. We need some help. We called in reinforcements, 2 Halo Hall of Famers, 2 world champions with the Angels. Garrett Anderson back again. Good to see you. Tim Salmon here for the first time. Gents, thanks for being here.
It feels a little weird. We're not wearing the right uniform. Last time you and I were next to each other, it was like hitting 3 and 4. You know, I don't know what's going on here.
Before we kick things off, though, Tim Salmon joining us for the first time this season. You've been busy in Arizona. Congratulations to your boys winning the state championship.
Yeah, SCA. Yeah, we've won it twice in the last 4 years. Lost the championship game last year to the team that we ended up beating this year. So we got redemption. You know, hats off to those kids. They grinded. They work hard. I'm not an easy guy to play for. I'm a grinder. And they gave me everything they got. Look at that picture right there. I mean, that's what it's all about right there, holding up the trophy, being the last team standing.
GA, do you think Tim would be tough to play for?
I know he would be.
Enough said. All right, boys, let's talk about what's going on surrounding this team. And once again, I want your positive vibes here as we talk about this. But Matt Duffy said after the 11th loss last night, they've had team meetings, they've had coaches meetings, they've done everything. And that 9th inning, it seemed like the 9th game or the 7th game of the World Series. Tim, give me a perspective on what's going on right now with this team and how what you're thinking.
Well, first of all, if you played long enough, you're going to experience this stuff. I mean, at every level, at any level, you're going to you go through these tough times where you're losing games like this, and you don't really have a reason for it. You can't really pinpoint one part of it. It's, you know, the offense hits, the pitching doesn't pitch. The pitching pitches, the offense doesn't hit. And then, hey, guess what? You get pitching and offense, you don't play defense. That's just the way the game is. I'll tell you, I have 2 experiences in my lifetime where we were on extended losing streaks, and I learned 2 great things.
He's already laughing.
In 95, we all know what happened, you know, the collapse, right? I mean, I think we lost 8 of 9 at home and going into September. I learned my lesson that year. Stay off media. Stay away from the TV. Don't be watching. Hey, I've already got it replaying in my head. I don't need to watch it on the big screen. I don't need to make it bigger than it is. The second thing, I think it was about 98-ish. I was trying to ask GA about this. But in 98, we went through a tough spell offensively. And you know what? I learned that you have to have fun. And you know how we had fun that year? One game, we used the same bat. We were trying to figure out, I think it was Jimmy Edmonds' bat. We used Jimmy Edmonds' bat the whole game until it broke. And so every batter they hit, left it, the next guy up there swung that one. We just went back to the Little League and made it fun. And you know what? That's part of what is in the secret to the success of getting out of this. Sure. You got to have some fun.
To kind of tailgate what you were saying, there was a funny part of that story was Orlando Palmeiro struck out looking. He left the bat at the plate. He got thrown out of the game. So, I mean, everybody's laughing, and then he ended up getting reinstated back into the game.
Yeah, that was because of me. I told Tim Sheet, I said, Tim, I'm using that bat. He's not trying to show you up. But, hey, G, I want to know, though, I mean, your perspective, I mean, not trying to do too much. That's always something you hear. What does that mean to you, and what does that look like for guys on a team where they're going through a slump?
Well, I mean, you know my personality. I'm very laid back anyway. But
I can't tell.
It's just day to day. And, you know, the beautiful thing about this game is we get to come back out the next day and play. So I never really warranted to think about the things that happened yesterday. Even Mike told me this saying years ago, the 2 biggest thieves are yesterday and tomorrow. So we're only going to worry about today. We're only going to try to do the things we can do to win the ball at the game today.
That's right.
Well, and yesterday, we're trying to forget about that, though. Unfortunately, the Angels up 5-0 at one point in time. They're up 6-2, and then things collapsed. Thanks to Bryce Harper, an old grand slam here. And, boy, I'll tell you what, we were watching this game yesterday and going, what could go wrong next? Duffy comes up. He would end up getting the Halos back on top right here with a little shot down the right field line. And then, of course, you're thinking, Tim, I'm thinking, this is it. This is finally the guy. He had the air that helped load the bases, and then all of a sudden this happens, a 3-run jack. And,
he earned that. I mean, a curveball in the shadows, you earned that one. But here's the thing, no complacency in the way they're losing right now. These guys are playing hard. They're hustling. You saw Walsh turn the little error into a double. You saw Duffy come up, had, a chance for redemption right there. He got the big hit. I like to see the way these guys are grinding. This is a good group of guys. They're going to come through this. They're going to be fine. But, it's just one of those early tests in the season to see what you're made of.
Gee, it's funny. We're upstairs in the radio booth. We're prepping for this thing, and 3 different people walked in and said, Joe Maddon's the right guy to get the team out of this slump. You've known Joe forever. Do you agree with that statement?
I totally agree with it, because Joe's emotions don't change day to day. He's very calm. He's very collected, and just his mindset every day is to be positive. And I've known him since I was 18, and I've never heard anything negative come out of his mouth. So, yes, he is the right guy to ride this wave.
A new day, a new team. We're back at home. That means a new interview with Erica Weston from Joe Maddon.
All right, thanks very much, Frenchie. Joe, we are back home. It was a long flight last night, but here we are back home. Another opportunity for a win today to break this streak.
Right.
What's the temperature right now?
About 75, clear skies, little humidity.
Perhaps that's the outlook for the game, too.
Hopefully. No, honestly, and you're around enough to know this. Our guys are fantastic. Listen, we're on a terrible losing streak, and it stinks. But the thing I love, everybody's hanging together through this. I don't see any or hear of any finger pointing. And really, it's not about the last 11 games. It's about tonight. When you get in situations like this, if you want to focus on what had happened, you're going to continue to be in this position. So my outlook is to come out here today, win tonight's game, really focus on that. I came out early. I'm going to do some of my stuff that I've done in the past, a little bit more coaching as opposed to just managing, and just try to lend my support. But again, if you walked in our locker room, you would not know the difference. And some people might be upset by that, but I believe that's the only way to handle a professional situation. You can't go too high or too low. It really is early enough in the year, and I'm not concerned with that. I just want us to get things right fundamentally on defense, cut down on our strikeouts, hit velocity better, and just keep trying to put our bullpen guys in the right position, because I think they're that good.
I saw you out there, a handful of guys doing some things in the cage. What was the essence of that?
Well, the essence is that started in 1987 or 88. I was the hitting coach in the minor leagues, and I fished. Timmy walked by and said, "Wow, I can't believe you're doing that again." It's something I started back in the 80s. It's with a smaller baseball. It's velocity with some right to it. And the smaller baseball, they're smaller, but they're exactly the same weight, a little bit heavier than a regular baseball. I'm just trying to create maximum shortness, get out of the lift, try to eliminate bad habits where guys try to do too much. And so my theory has always been, if you could get to that right, if you could get rid of that extra movement in your swing, you could catch up to velocity. That's been one of our biggest problems, is velocity and bad habits. So I'm going to be out here all week doing that kind of stuff, and I really enjoy it.
Last one for you. Obviously, yesterday it was the back end of the bullpen that got bit. Again, something that has been plaguing this team throughout this losing streak. Is that a confidence thing, and how do you get that back?
Yeah, I told you, get them in, get them out. I've been trying to do that as much as I possibly can, get them in, get them out. And it's Tepera looked really good. Quijada looked really good. And actually, Looper did not throw the ball badly. We made a pretty critical mistake behind him. And it's all interconnected. The thing about our game and life in general, understand one thing: everything's interconnected. We're in this together. One part of the game breaks down, almost always another part of the game breaks down. So I understand that today's connected till tomorrow, and of course it's connected till yesterday. So we just got to get out, get fundamentally sound like we were earlier in the year. Pitching wise, again, keep the bullpen in order, get them in the right roles. Offensively, move the baseball. We could hit home runs, but I don't think our at-bats have been as stellar as they need to be in different situations. Part of that is length. Part of that's trying to do too much. Part of that is that the plan has been erratic. So these are the things I'm working on this week, and I have to be specific. If you're going to lead a group and try to help them, you have to be specific in your intentions. That's my intent.
As always, we appreciate the perspective. Thank you.
Always my pleasure. Thank you.
Joe and Erica, thank you very much. One thing that jumps out of that interview for me is no panic whatsoever. You can see just the positiveness, the vibes, the philosophy that he brings to the table. But Tim, he referenced you in there. I want to know what's going on. And Joe Maddon, the teacher, Kind of give me an insight into that.
Well, that's the core of who he is. He's a teacher. I mean, this is a losing streak, and he's kind of giddy because I get to go out there and coach again. I get to be a teacher and talk about things, because as a manager, sometimes you're up here and you're letting everybody else do the coaching. He's excited to get back in there and really get the guys focused on the fundamentals, the stuff he's talking about, fundamental things at the plate, not trying to do too much. Good hitters get jammed. Hey, home runs are accidents. You know what? We're going to use the whole field. Don't try to do too much at the plate. Those are thoughts that you have when you're going through struggles, but this whole team is going through that right now, so he's just trying to reinstitute that, and all these guys, head right now. One of the things, getting back to the basics and the fundamentals of playing the game, not worrying about winning the game, worry about winning the pitch. You know what? Execute on the pitch, and winning will follow. Winning takes care of itself, but sometimes we get so focused on winning that we paralyze ourselves along the way, and we don't allow ourselves to be as successful as we can.
Working on fundamentals, GA, Mike Trout, 3-time MVP. He's leading the charge out there at about noon, 12:30 or so today, taking some extra BP. Can you, well, I already know you can overthink it, but I mean, what's he working on out there to try to get out of this funk?
You know, I've been watching him play the last week or so, and it just looks like he's caught in between. So it looks like, from my perspective of the hitter, he's just getting out there. He's just trying to hash it out. He's trying to just get a feel back. And what tells me more is that he's on the field, so he wants a visual on the field, because generally you get your work in the cage. So for him to be on the field tells me that he just wants to get a visual and just try to get back to his natural swing.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, perspective is key. You got to keep perspective in a slump. It's early in the year. But in Trout's case, let's think about this. He just played in New York and Philly, the two biggest places where he probably gets hounded the most by family and friends. Now, he's Mike Trout. He's Superman. He can handle everything. But even a guy like that, every once in a while, those distractions, there's a lot of distractions that are coming his way on the East Coast. I'm sure he's happy to come back to the West Coast, get some time to come out and hit like he did right there. He probably couldn't do that in Philly and New York with all the friends and everybody coming out. So I think for him, it's just about, okay, I'm going to clear my head and get back to basics.
Before we go to the mound and take a break here, GA, I want to ask you about hitting velo. We heard Joe mention that a couple times. What's been the reason they have not been able to hit the fastball?
From my perspective, they're not ready to hit it. I mean, you take 1-0 fastballs down the middle, 2-0 fastballs in the middle. That tells me when you're in a slump, you're not swinging well. If you're not swinging at that pitch, you're really caught in between and you're up there guessing. So the hitting velo is just isolating the fastball and taking that away from the pitcher.
One other thing, too, Joe did mention this. Some of the swings are starting to get long. Guys start pressing, trying to do too much. Now they're trying to hit the double, the homer, the gapper, trying to come up with a big hit. You get long with that. He just wants everybody to get back to being short, make contact. We're producers, not directors. Produce the contact, let the ball go wherever it wants to go. That's another Joe Maddon quote.
All right. I love it. I love where we're going right now. And you know what? I told you, I got the Halo hotline. I got a couple super Halos out here on the desk, but we also got a superhero taking to the mound. Thor will be taking the ball here tonight against Boston as we take our first time out. When we do come back, we'll talk about what Syndergaard needs to do to get the Halos in the win column.
Evan Longoria, a guy last year who was one of the catalysts to a surprising Giants team.
Meet Evan Longoria. He's watching MLB Network.
Longo's hitting with big-time power. Still
because that's what baseball fans do.
Here we go, Longo, 2022.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stand.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run.
Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome.
That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout.
The Cubs have finally won it all.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Out, smiles are out as well as the Halos back at home as we welcome you to Angels Live on Valley Sports. Angels baseball presented by your Southern California Cadillac dealers, the fans, the players, everybody looking for the Halos to snap this losing streak and get back in the win column as we welcome you back outside of the Big A. Ken French, Garrett Anderson, and that is Tim Salmon. Let's talk about Noah Syndergaard making a start here tonight, hoping that he can be back to the Syndergaard form we've seen, gents, over the last 5 starts. He's alternated wins, a win, a loss, a win, a loss. He's trying to find consistency, Tim. And I want to ask you first, since we haven't heard your perspective, what have you seen from Thor so far?
Well, what I see is a guy that, I have never been able to watch him this consistently. And I see somebody that has a power arm, but I'm really surprised at his consistency throwing strikes. And I was looking at some of the stats. He's throwing more strikes this year than he ever has at any point in his career. So for being a power pitcher, he really has pretty good command of his pitches in the zone. Now, he's gotten hurt, but I think that's, with some pitches left over the heart of the plate. He's gotten tagged a little bit, but I think that's coming off of the Tommy John and finding that consistency, that routine every start, hey, okay, this isn't working this night. Yep. What do I have to go to? And I think that's something he's got to get back into and work himself back into coming out of Tommy John.
So, yeah, 2 years removed from Tommy John, GA. When you look at Thor, he's boy, is he a figure. He's about 7'9" up on the mound, but he's not the Thor we used to see 2 years ago. How has he evolved as a pitcher in your mind?
And that's exactly what it is. He's evolved. He's learning how to use a two-seam pitch now. He's learning how to spot fast, use his fastball spotting more, and off speeds and everything else. But everything with him started off of his fastball as a power pitcher early in his career. And as he's gotten older and off his injury, he's going to have to learn how to do some things to finesse the ball around the zone, because he's not going to be able to throw it by everybody and miss out over the plate.
Well, Garrett, you said that. I mean, I think that's key for any pitcher as they develop and grow in this game. You're not going to be able to throw 100 miles an hour forever. And one of the things that Thor's done really well is that developing that two-seamer. That 100 batting average against righties and 120 slugging percentage, that's phenomenal against the right-handed batters this season. And like I'm saying, he's throwing strikes with that. He's throwing that two-seamer 23% of the time to the righties, and 28% of the time it's a four-seam to the lefties. I would almost question, because against the left-handers, that four-seamers, they're hitting almost 400 off it, right? This time of the year. So you almost wonder, should you mix in that two-seamer a little bit more to the lefties? I mean, what does it look like? A power pitcher throwing a two-seamer to a lefty, is that an effective pitch?
I would love to have a fastball four-seamer all the time. Yeah, the two-seamer is a tough pitch, but he can throw it on both sides of the plate. And it's really hard to, it's hard for him to command, but it's still hard enough to hit.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have the velo right now that he used to have, but he certainly has the intimidation, gents, as he is the first one on the hill every time. Everyone's taking note when he throws, especially at home. 4 starts here at the Big A, 3-0 with a 1.48 ERA. That's going to bode well. That's going to give the boys confidence, Tim, to have him come home, and he's been very good on this mound.
Yeah, he's been very good on this mound, and I think it's like with anything. You go to a new place, new surroundings. I mean, let's talk about it. Anaheim's amazing. The weather's great every night. The fan base is great. The media is pretty good. It's not like New York or Philly, some of the East Coast stuff you're used to. So I think he's been able to relax and just kind of work himself into his game and find himself as a pitcher on the mound. And he's really pitched well, like you said, at home. All his hiccups have been on the road. Once in New York, a lot of distraction. That's where he's from. And once in Texas, maybe another distraction there because he's from Texas. So, again, when he's been able to come at home and be in that comfortable environment, he's been able to pitch well.
How much does a team feed off a pitcher, especially one that is very intense like Thor is?
It's everything. It's your momentum the next day. So as far as him coming out and doing the things that he's been doing here, I got to imagine that the guys are feeling pretty good and feeling pretty positive going into tonight's game.
All right, I'm feeling positive. I don't know about you guys. I'm fired up right now. Let's go. Let's throw the first pitch. But, we got a couple more segments to go as we take another time out here on Angels Live, coming at you from outside the Big A. When we do come back, a guy who has been wonderful through these tough times, Jared Walsh. We'll talk about the lefty next.
You want that home run feeling? Then step in the box and let it rip. Get ready for the Major League Baseball Junior Home Run Derby. Compete in your communities and swing your way to the 2022 Junior Home Run Derby Finals during MLB All-Star Week in Los Angeles. Sign up for free at jrhrd.com.
Every game, every night, everything you need to see. Get all the highlights with the fastest hour on television. Quick Pitch, late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network.
Sports brought to you by Jerome's. Catch the Angels action from Jerome's. Best seat in the house. Sign up for a chance to win at jeromes.com. Halos and Thor back at home. First of 4 in the 7-game homestand as they take on the Boston Red Sox and Angels. Yeah, they've struggled offensively, but not this guy, riding a 7-game hit streak. GA in Boston. Boy, 417, 2 home runs, 8 RBI the last time we saw the Red Sox. How does he carry that home to the Big A?
He definitely brings it home. He's got to be looking forward to facing these guys. I mean, usually when you have a history of a good hitting a team, you have history of it, usually feel pretty good going on. But, you know, he also probably has to think that, you know, that was made 3rd through 5th. So I have to go out and prove it again.
Well, here's one thing I'll say about Walsh. Timing and rhythm's everything in his swing. You can see the way he's got that working. Early in the year, he's a candidate for a slow start. It looks like he's finally getting his timing the last few weeks, and he's, you know, hitting the ball like he's capable of hitting it. I mean, last year, he had a tremendous year, and sometimes you think, hey, I'm going to start the season off where I left off. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to get that timing and rhythm back, and I think Walsh is kind of a hitter that has too much going on rhythm-wise that he's got to he kind of gives away some at-bats early in the year. I was one of those guys, too, so yeah. I understand it.
You're also one of those guys that hit home runs along with GA, and Bally Sports likes home runs. We all like home runs, right? Well, the guys who hit home runs get paid the big bucks, and now when MLB Stars go yard, you can get paid, too, by playing Home Run Blast. Scan the QR code to enter and compete for thousands in monthly and season-long prizes, plus your first play is free. Every night you pick 3 batters who you think will hit a home run, and you score on 1 point for every home run you select batters hit, and the more points you score every month, the more cash prizes you win. For complete game rules, go to homerunblast.com/the rules. Here are our picks. Yeah, check them out. Patty O's going with Machado. Gooby is going with Trout. Erica is going with Alonso. Walsh, yes, I'm going with the hot hand for the Halos right now. He's got 10 homers. Tim, you're going with Ohtani and GA. Hopefully Trout can bounce back out of this thing.
Yeah, just a coincidence. He was out there taking extra batting practice today, and I didn't even know that.
I got the pick. Wacha likes to throw fastballs inside and cutters. Ohtani's going to turn on something tonight. You know he likes to come home and play at home in front of the folks.
GA was out there early. He saw this happen. I'll tell you what, though, one thing that we look forward to seeing is this Saturday when the Halos take on the Mets. It's the new Nike City Connect jerseys. Check these things out. It explores a connection to its home, a fan base, with every detail honoring the distinct personalities, values, customs, and traditions. The Halos uniform is the 12th in the Nike City Connect series. Boys, start with you, Tim. Let's take a look at this whole thing. The jersey is written in sand. That's kind of where that Angels comes from. This is all about beach life, something you know very well, Tim Sims.
Well, you know, it's funny because my daughter sent me a text today. Oh, my gosh, we got to buy one of these. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, where are we getting this? And then we're finding out we're doing this segment. But it's got a surfboard on it somewhere. I thought I saw a surfboard. So, yeah, we live down by the beach. My daughter's a surfer. Yep. Got to figure out where to buy one of these.
GA, what do you think about wearing these things?
I think they're cool. I mean, anytime you can throw something into the twist. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, but, you know, every now and then trying something different is always fun.
Yeah, I mean, they got a sleeve patch that pays tribute to the railway. The numbers have bold faces on the side of lifeguard towers. I mean, there's a little bit of everything. Lifeguard towers.
I thought I saw a surfboard.
There's just so much here. So you got to come check them out on June the 11th on Saturday. Then get to the team store and get yourself one before they go away. As we take our final time out here on the program, but when we do come back, it is time for Thor to take to the hill. We'll go over who's batting behind him next. Sports Angels Baseball, presented by your Southern California Cadillac dealers and Halo fans all season long. The day after the Angels win at home, fans can redeem free medium fries with a $1 minimum purchase at participating SoCal McDonald's. Download and register on the McDonald's app. No better way to celebrate the Halos getting in the win column than with some free medium fries. Here's a lineup that's going to back up Thor tonight here at the Big Gay. Duffy's going to lead off as a starter. By the way, hitting .352. Mike Trout hoping to get out of an 0 for 26 slump. We mentioned Walshy getting things done. Rengifo has been playing a lot better. Max Stassi has been the anchor behind the plate. Angels trying to flip the script. The Red Sox playing some good baseball since May the 10th. The Sox 17-8. Angels are 7-17 during that stretch. But things will change tonight. Gooby and Patrick with the call coming at you next from the Big A.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game. Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
Join Kevin Millard.
I'm just a dude that loves baseball.
And Steven Nelson.
I'm nervous as hell, man.
On a quest for legends worthy of the sacred prize.
You kind of lost my mind, but
it's unpredictable baseball coverage that will have you on the edge of your seat all season long.
So keep it locked here on MLB Network all day.
Swing into action and join the adventure on Intentional Talk. Only on MLB Network.
Let's watch some baseball.
I got the mic today. I got the mic.
You got the mic.
I got the mic today.
Mom, I'm sorry if you hear anything that is said tonight. I apologize. I love you. I haven't talked to you in a few days.
Lo tuyo es rolling, olvídate de los fly. Dame los fly a mí, lo tuyo es para abajo.
Le voy a decir a la gente que me ponga el micrófono todos los días. Claro.
The heart of LA Sports West. The heart of the fan.
Tonight's ball game is brought to you by Nissan. The Halos return home for a 7-game homestand, 4 with the Red Sox, then 3 with the Mets over the weekend. Angels in Boston, and it's been tough sledding for this team, but they showed up with the right attitude. Noah Syndergaard is on the hill. Michael Wacha going for the Red Sox. Welcome inside our broadcast booth with the two-time All-Star Mark Gubicza, Patrick O'Neill. Spent way too much time in Heartbreak City, Mark, on that road trip. 11 losses in a row, we get it, but it is a new day, a new game, and hopefully the Angels can turn it around and snap this skid.
Patrick, coming back to the Big A, you could saw the guys were here working extremely early. Mike Trout was here real early in the early batting practice, early fielding. You see the smiles in the dugout. They've already forgotten what happened on that last road trip, what has happened in the last 11 games, because all that really matters is what happened tonight.
Yeah, and one guy is really hot for the Angels, and that is first baseman Jared Walsh. He has not cooled off at all. In fact, last 12 games versus the first 40, big difference. He's hitting .326, on base .354, OPS .919, and he's hitting the ball extremely hard, and yesterday gave the team a chance to win.
Yeah, I mean, he's running the bases much, much better. He did a good job in Boston getting in scoring position, but yesterday even more so. Take a look at our Frontier play sense. On a ground ball, a lot of times as a batter, you think, okay, that's going to be a routine out. Off the glove at shortstop, he wasn't satisfied going just to first base. You see him going down the line at 4.7 seconds, but he reads that ball off the glove, turns on the afterburner as he gets to first base, and he's really cooking going to second base. Gets in there just a little over 3.5 seconds, slides in, gets in the scoring position, eventually scores on the base hit by Matt Duffy, giving the Angels a chance to win. That's what you want to see from Jared Walsh and what he has done this season alone against the Red Sox. 5 for 12 with 2 big home runs in big moments. He's been a guy that's been the guy you really want to count on in those big moments, whether he's swinging the bat or running the bases or picking it at first base.
Angels absolutely need him because Boston is coming in playing very good baseball. They've won 13 of 18. They're back to 500 on the season, and they have 3 hitters on their team, all over 300 in qualifying.
And all hit fastballs well, breaking balls well, changeups well. JD Martinez is crushing the baseball right now. He's hitting the bats with .353. He's doing everything well. His OPS at .959. He hits the ball really well the other way. That means he's staying back on off-speed pitches. Then you got Rafi Devers. He is a doubles machine this season, hitting .341. He's got a .978 OPS, staying back on the baseball, and he's really quick on fastballs in the inner half of the plate. Rafi Bogarts, he's been crushing the ball, .323. He is excellent on off-speed pitches, a pitch that Thor throws a lot today. But you go with your number ones, whether it's a sinking fastball, changeup, and just trust your defense and get an early lead. Put up a 0 early and get the offense going.
Oh, certainly. I know Angels fans have been frustrated. The team is frustrated. Something has to turn. Hopefully returning home in front of these great Halo fans will bring a win. They certainly need it. It's going to be tough. Boston's playing good baseball. We will have lineups at first pitch coming up here from the Big A.
I got the mic today. I got the mic.
You got the mic.
I got the mic today.
Mom, I'm sorry if you hear anything that is said tonight. I apologize. I love you. I haven't talked to you in a few days.
Lo tuyo es rolling, olvídate de los fly. Dame los fly a mí, lo tuyo es para abajo.
Le voy a decir a la gente que me ponga el micrófono todos los días.
Claro.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game. Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
It is gone!
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup,
Swing and a miss!
or runs one down.
He caught it! Oh, you won't see a better one than that!
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
It's time for the Blue Moon bright spot. And with Syndergaard taking the hill, that bright spot early May. Gooby, when the Angels won 2 of 3 at Fenway, they did it with a plus run differential. The 6 homers and the team ERA, they got it done, and they need more of the same.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the big moments, late in games, even in extra innings. So they were swinging the bat well. You got to have that all-field approach against this pitching staff for the Red Sox, and hopefully that continues like they had up there in Fenway Park.
Well, you look at Noah Syndergaard, and he had a meeting with Boston. He took a loss back on May 3rd. But he went 7, just allowed the 3 earned runs. He's alternating losses and wins, so he is due for a win.
And my go-tos for Noah Syndergaard to have a big game, and they need him to have a big game here tonight to break that losing streak. Lots of ground ball outs on his sinker. His batting average versus sinker just 100, and that arm side sink on his changeup, especially against a couple of these tough left-handed batters, even down and in some right-handed batters to get some soft contact on the changeup.
Well, this Boston Red Sox team, they have won 13 of 18. They're coming in red hot, 4 straight wins on the road, and they've got a lot of talented veteran hitters. Here's the order. Christian Arroyo will lead off, followed by Rafael Devers and then J.D. Martinez. At short, Xander Bogaerts, Alex Verdugo in left. Trevor Story is absolutely on a tear. Franchi Cordero at first. The veteran catcher, Christian Vasquez, hitting 8th, and then Jackie Bradley Jr. rounds out this lineup for Alex Cora. So defense for Thor here this afternoon in game 1 of a 4-game set with the Red Sox. From left to right is Marsh, Trout, and Joe Adell is in right field. The infield is Duffy, Velasquez, Rengifo, and Walsh. And doing the catching is Max Stassi for Noah Syndergaard.
And when you think of Noah Syndergaard, you think of ground ball action, and Andrew Velasquez has been outstanding. 7 defensive runs saved this season. That's the 4th most by any AL player at any different position. Syndergaard gets 50% ground ball rate, and Velasquez has been very solid behind him and all the pitchers this season.
So great to have you with us here as the Angels host the Boston Red Sox here on Monday, June 6th. Looking to snap an 11-game losing streak. First pitch swinging is Arroyo, and he pops it up. And Velasquez is there under it. It's a big-time major league pop-up, out number 1.
Well, you love those quick outs. It allows you to think in terms of getting deeper and deeper in ball games. There's some guys in the lineup here that are patient, but there's also some batters that love to go in attack mode on the first pitch, just like we saw in Philadelphia. Look, a lot of those guys with success on the first pitch.
Now this guy right here, Gooby, Rafael Devers, hitting .341, leads the team with homers at 12, 31 RBI, but 22 doubles. And he takes a strike.
Love that curveball against him, though. He's got some pretty good batting average. He's hitting .346 versus breaking balls. Also .365 versus fastballs. I guess that's why you're hitting .341.
That makes sense. Quickly 0-2. That's the changeup that's going to be effective. Has to be for Noah.
It's good to see that. It's a little harder on his changeup, too. It's usually 88, 89. That was a 90-mile-an-hour changeup.
And the 0-2. That's a miss. 1-2. So you get him in a situation here. They have the shift on. What's the ideal pitch you want to go to here?
I think every time you see Syndergaard, especially if he's throwing a 4-seam fastball that elevation, he's going to go back to his changeup or slow curveball.
And the 1-2. Grounded foul.
And he had him out in front. That was a good changeup again. The goal for a changeup is not always a swing and miss. It's soft contact versus changeup.
The 4-seamer's been hit by Syndergaard, but the sinker has been extremely effective. The 1-2. Line drive. Velasquez leaps, unable to get it. That's a hit for Devers. He's a hitting machine.
Take a look what Noah Syndergaard will throw as far as our StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. His pitch arsenal sinker, he mentioned that one, Patrick, 28%, changeup 25%, 4-seamer 23%, slider at 17, and curveball at 8. Curveball and changeup pretty solid, but really it's a sinking fastball. And then Devers hit a changeup. He went back-to-back-to-back changeups and still was able to stay back on it. Like I mentioned, non-fastballs, 35 hits for Devers. Make that now 36 hits on non-fastballs.
Now here's J.D. Martinez. You see his average 353, even better on the road, 390. That's a tapper foul off his leg. Strike one.
We see all three batters up there hacking early.
Yep. Red Sox have 3 players with an average of at least 300 in Martinez, Devers, and Bogaerts. And Devers with that single, he leads baseball in hits, 78. Extra base hits as well, total bases.
J.D. Martinez has rolled into 7 double plays. Syndergaard has had 3 double plays turn behind him this year.
The Red Sox don't necessarily run a lot in terms of, stolen bases, but teams have run on Syndergaard, and you just wonder. I know 1 stolen base on the year for Devers.
And Alex Cora, he knows all that data. He was a very good base runner himself, really good defender. In the World Series in his first season as a manager for the Red Sox.
So 0-2 on J.D. Martinez.
So far early on here for Noah Syndergaard, you can see a conscious effort to hold the baseball, not work as quickly, not giving base runners a chance to read him and get a bigger jump. It's that conversation with Matt Weiss, what you have to do. Whether you step off, hold the ball longer to slow down your pace just enough to throw off the timing of a runner. Devers, you mentioned, Patrick, doesn't run a lot, nor do the Red Sox, but at some point they're going to try it.
Syndergaard was ahead of Devers 0-2. It's 0-2 to Martinez, and that's popped up as well. Jared Walsh is there. And that's 2 outs and 2 pop-ups. That's a big out because Martinez, as a Red Sox, has been crushing the baseball. So if you can retire him, you'll take it.
A lot of strikes early on for Thor. 9 pitches, 8 strikes.
Here comes the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts.
Bogaerts is really, really solid on breaking balls and non-fastballs. So you wonder if he goes exclusively and tries to get him out with sinkers.
If Boston were to have a captain, it would be this man right here. Hitting .323. Has been the anchor at the shortstop position for the Red Sox.
Feels like he's been with the Red Sox for like 25 years. He's been in a lot of big games, even at the early age.
As that sinker runs inside, but good velo. You notice any slight tick up in velo for Syndergaard?
It's working its way up there now. His average fastball, both his 4-seamer and 2-seamer, his average at 94 was about 93 early in the season. It will pick up.
The 2-0 gets the call right there. That's Chris Conroy calling the balls and strikes. Now 2-1.
You see that average velocity on his fastball from his 4-seamer down 4 miles per hour, sinker down 3.5 miles per hour. Same thing for all his pitches across the board, but he's looking for ground ball, soft contact. And as you bounce back and get stronger and stronger every start after missing 2 years, that velocity will pick up. That was at 96.
There's a ground ball. Velasquez going to go the short way. Little soft contact. The force out. 1 hit. Stranded. No score. Bottom of the first coming up.
Should Viagra really cost $90? We don't think so. RexMD.com has FDA-approved generic Viagra starting at just $2 per tablet. Want to know what other guys are saying about RexMD.com?
This was my first time using telemedicine, and I'd recommend this process to anyone. I couldn't be happier with the product.
Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you can try a sample pack of generic Viagra, which are currently available to new customers. Your consultation is free. There's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. Visit RexMD.com.
ButcherBox. We deliver high-quality meat to your door. What happens next is up to you.
At Boll & Branch, we don't make bedding like everyone else. We make it better. We prioritize thread quality, not thread count. We source the finest 100% organic cotton to make the softest, most luxurious fabrics on earth. We're free from toxins, the way home should be. Boll & Branch is made different, so you can sleep better at night. Experience the difference at bollandbranch.com.
Batting order for Joe Maddon, Matt Duffy at third leading off. There's Shohei Ohtani DHing and Mike Trout in center hitting third. Jared Walsh clean up. Max Stassi behind the plate. Brandon Marsh in left. Luis Rengifo at second. It's Joe Adell in right. And Squid. And Velasquez is at short facing Michael Wacha. Pretty good numbers for Wacha. In fact, his entire pitching staff has been really solid.
Now, when you think about the bounce back after a number of years of struggle, my go-tos to have success against Michael today is the approach you have to have at the plate is line that fastball to the big part of the field. Don't get into pull mode against it. Batting average against the fastball is pretty high, and you got to square up that flat slider. That's the one pitch this season he's had very little success, and the Angels saw that cutter a ton in New York and Philadelphia. Didn't have success against, but hopefully have success against Michael Wacha's cutter today.
Too early to go with the Wacha, Wacha, Wacha. I think so. Matt Duffy.
Depends if he can't throw enough strikes, then we'll do that.
Alrighty. First pitch swinging. That's driven to right field. Center field. Jackie Bradley is there and has it for out number one. One pitch, one out.
Both games started here with one pitch outs by leadoff hitters.
Well, you know, there was a lot of work going on the field at around 12:45. We'll have more on that as the game goes on. This team knows where they're at and what's been happening, and they're going to do whatever they can to get out of it. This game can be incredibly cruel as Shohei Ohtani steps in. It's the best game in the world, but at the same time, it'll rip your heart out. Devastating loss yesterday, 11 in a row, but flip the script, new day, new attitude.
That's a good hack by Shohei. He's going to see a lot of changeups from a pitcher who has an excellent changeup, and he's been struggling for his change versus the changeup for Ohtani. So see if he can make good contact and think left center. That keeps your hips in there longer. There it was right away.
Didn't have the feel on the changeup there early. 1-1. We get a minute. We'll show you this Boston defense. They have the shift on for Ohtani. Well, they had the feel for the changeup there. 1-2.
Just has to stay back. Use his hands a little better on that pitch. See how far out in front.
Hasn't lost the helmet in a while. Upstairs, 2-2. Trout on deck.
That's a setup pitch to go right back to his changeup, I would believe. So nearly 60% of the time, 2-2 to a lefty.
Works the count full. Wacha back in 2013. NLCS MVP. The 2015 All-Star. Having a good season here with Boston. Line drive, looking to get over the shift, and it does. Just tipped off the glove of Story.
Looked like he was in position to make the play. Maybe his timing on the jump, but he's a tall, usually see him at shortstop, a tall shortstop, tall second baseman. Shohei able to get that little top hand spin. Still out in front on a changeup, but gets the hit.
That's beating the shift because they had a guy there. Now an opportunity for Mike Trout, who has said it. He said it when he returned home to Philly. And he's just in it right now. And he is working to get out of it. Ohtani at first, one down, bottom of the first. And there it is. First pitch. Don't have to talk about that anymore. And he's 1 for 1.
Doesn't matter what he did to his previous at-bats. All it matters what you did on that at-bat for Trout. Just like that. The right guy up.
Sinker down. Nice job as far as tracking that lower third. Now that's Trout on the line, short and through the baseball. All he's been trying to do earlier today, what he was doing early yesterday in Philadelphia, was just try to get his hands going.
Well, at 12:45 this afternoon, he was doing just that here, a sim game. Some minor leaguers came in, and Mike Trout was taking his hacks on this field early today. Paid off right there. Here's Jared Walsh, first and second. Line drive, and that could be two. Over to second, and it is. Trout got back. Ohtani was drifting off the bag. And Franchy Cordero catches the line drive, looks to first, and throws to second to double off Ohtani. And that is going to end the threat. So Ohtani gets caught off the bag, and just like that, threat over, inning over. We head to the second, no score.
Karsten Sabathia trains in Win Reality.
I love it.
So Karsten hits in reality. He trains in Win Reality.
I'm glad I'm retired.
He hits in reality. Train in Win Reality. Win in reality. See infinite game speed pitches, work on timing, pitch recognition, and get more hits. Train new school. Hit old school. Be ready for real. Win reality.
Hey guys, Gronk here to talk to you about your hair game. Hims has a full lineup of clinically proven hair loss treatments, all prescribed online by a licensed medical provider and shipped directly to your door, if appropriate. Order today and get a 90-day money-back guarantee at 4hims.com.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Halos happy to be home. Happy to see their third baseman, Anthony Rendon, who did not accompany them on their East Coast road trip, still on the injured list, dealing with that right wrist inflammation. He was placed on the IL back on May 28th, but we did see him out on the field earlier today, getting some work in. There he is, taking some grounders at third, not wearing the wrist brace that he had been wearing prior to the Halos departing on that road trip, but he said it's feeling a little bit better. The athletic staff, training staff, told me that he is going to see another specialist, but they just want to get him going back into some baseball activity. So we saw him out there today. Certainly looked happy to be back on the field with his guys, taking some grounders.
Yeah, we saw that smile, Erica, but also, you know, Joe Maddon, I know you spoke with him, had that interview in pregame. They need to lengthen out this lineup. Not having Rendon, not having Taylor Ward also, it has been difficult right now.
That was something he talked about in the midst of that road trip, how difficult it's been for Trout not having Rendon with that protection.
Okay, Erica, thank you. As you see, Alex Verdugo the opposite way for a leadoff base hit here in the top of the second.
And that's another hit on an 0-2 pitch so far this season against Noah. He just hasn't been able to get that good pitch out of the strike zone, a little bit more to zone. Now 7 for 16 on 0-2 pitches put in play. That's an over 600 slugging percentage.
Well, you see the numbers on Trevor Story, who steps into the box right now. But look at the 40 RBI. And he started the season in his first year in Boston, and there's a lot of pressure, right? When you're there, we had a radio guy from Boston next door. He's screaming. There's a lot of energy that goes towards this baseball team, but he has come alive.
And you're going to see, I think, Noah Syndergaard attack him with fastballs. And you would think not that's the case with Story, but he's really been all over non-fastballs. 6 home runs of his 9 on non-fastballs. Slugging 789 versus non-fastballs and breaking balls in all speed. So That's pretty good numbers on secondary pitches.
The 1-0. That's off the plate, 2-0. Well, through the first 29 games, he was hitting under 200. Trevor Story, May 16th through today, 19 games, hitting 282, but an OPS of over 1,000.
Just a really good player. Really good base runner for a guy that big. Runs the bases very well. He's got 7 stolen bases, and this team doesn't run a lot. They only have 12 as a team. He's always been a very good base runner. A solid shortstop throughout his career. Signed the long-term deal, at least temporarily, as a second baseman. You don't know what's going to happen going forward with the Red Sox with Bogart's endeavors.
Former shortstop doing just fine at second base. How would you think that transition would be for a player?
Especially because he's so used to I always felt when a shortstop moves over, whether it's third base or second, it's just a different feel because you feel you have all the room to roam as a shortstop or center fielder when you're kind of not allowed to do it. Although with shifts this season, you're able to move around a little bit more, but he's got that shortstop mentality. You can tell he does.
Another pop-up. Jared Walsh is under this one once again. That's 3 big pop-ups here in the first 2 innings for Noah Syndergaard. The way that last half inning ended, Mark, you'd think, oh, here we go again. You know, when it rains, it pours, doubled off second. I'm not taking us down any kind of negative road here. But you get that feeling. That's why you need a guy like Noah Syndergaard right here to kind of get a quick 3 outs.
Take it upon yourself to quiet that any kind of negativity and go out there and doing your job. And he's been throwing strikes. He made one mistake there, that 0-2 pitch, a little bit more of the strike zone. And Verdugo with a good swing with 2 strikes. That's part of the philosophy of Alex Cora. Even go back to that 18 World Series team. They were all about making contact with 2 strikes.
Franchi Cordero takes a strike.
Soft contact already today this season at 87.2 miles per hour. That's the 10th lowest with 8 or more starts as American League starter. So that's solid. It may not be throwing 100. The contact soft for the majority of time against Thor.
Well, the 0-1 is driven to center field. Mike Trout going back on it. He has room. And we have 2 down here in the top of the second. So Cordero is retired on the line out to center. And it brings up the catcher, Christian Vasquez.
He had a pretty good swing and a 4-seamer up in the strike zone. As the game progresses, we're going to break down the difference between what he's been able to accomplish with his 4-seamer as compared to his 2-seamer. That got a lot of the strike zone. It flattened right in the middle part of the plate, hit it well, but Trout able to run it down. There's been a big difference between his 4-seam success and his sinker success this season. A huge difference. And there's a reason why that. We're going to show that a little bit.
Can't wait. First things first, take care of Vasquez if possible. Starts him off with a sinker for a strike at 95. And the 0-1. Foul back, 0-2.
Hey, what so far, Patrick? You mentioned a little bit in the first inning. Noah Syndergaard is doing a nice job of not being in a rush to throw the baseball, so he's holding it. It's not giving a base runner a shot to get a good jump. Because when you work quickly all the time, a base runner is going to go, he holds the ball for 1 second, go 1 second every time. It's timing. He's holding the ball better.
Ahead of another batter here tonight. Inside, if you look at Syndergaard's starts this year, he had one tough one, that was in Texas, a return home, and the tough one in New York is his last time out, returning back to New York. I'm not inside Thor's head, but he has been considerably better here at the Big A. Great numbers.
A lot better.
Yeah. 2 down. Here's the 1-2 to Vasquez. Doesn't miss by much.
I like that slider, though. That's the thing you want to see just a little bit more out of Syndergaard, getting some swings versus his slider. His 4 strikeouts. It's a 19.5 whip percentage. And when he's got his slider working well, you're going to get that up there normally around that 30 to 40% whiff percentage versus a tight slider. See if he can get through the second inning. Bottom line, he got through the first inning where so far this season in 7 2/3 innings pitched, he's allowed 10 earned runs. An ERA over 11 in the first inning. So he got through that first, build some momentum, take what you've done at home this season with an ERA of 1.48. Use that as confidence.
He's given up a couple of hits, looking for his first strikeout. Vasquez battles, fouls that off. Obviously, one thing we have learned during this skid here, Gooby, is that no lead is safe. And in the 11 straight losses, they've had leads in the 7th inning or later. In fact, 5 to be exactly specific.
If he goes with a curveball or a slider here to see if he can get a chase and get a swing and miss.
The 2-2. Count runs full.
Hasn't got anybody to bite on his slider yet. That's right. Get a ground ball right here now with your sinker. Vasquez has never faced Syndergaard before. Bradley on deck.
The 3-2 runner goes. That's going to be a hit. And Verdugo's going to go. He's going to be waved home. The throw to the plate. Scoring all the way from first. The throw to second. Gets into center field. Vasquez is going to go to third. Scoring all the way from first base. On a single to center. Somewhat in the gap.
That was a fastball hard of the plate. After a long at bat, Vasquez did a nice job of getting a pitch he could hit. Truck got to that baseball, cut it off. Carlos Fabus, the third base coach, looked like he was thinking about holding it, but when the throw got all the way to the bag in the infield, was aggressive, sending him all the way home. Verdugo scores the first run of the game, and just like that, after having an opportunity in the bottom of the first, the Red Sox come around and score.
So it's 1-0. 2 down. Jackie Bradley Jr., the batter. Aggressive base running by the Red Sox early in this game.
Your goal is to get into the cutoff man as quick as possible.
Missing the cutoff prevented a play at the plate.
Jackie Bradley Jr., he's 3 for 6 in his career versus Syndergaard.
1-1, now 1-2.
Well, throwing strikes is not an issue so far for Syndergaard. A lot of strikes. 24 strikes of his 33 pitches. And yet, no swing and misses at this point.
Maybe he gets one here. 1-2. Just off the corner.
That's a real solid changeup, too.
Vasquez getting way down the line. That's fouled out of play. Especially with the shift on Bradley Jr. Duffy is the only infielder on the left side. So Vasquez can try to mess with Thor a little bit and get down the line. And
yeah, I mean, he's in position. He feels if he reads something in the dirt that far down, he can give it a shot, especially with a batter with 2 strikes on him.
Big pitch, 2-2, ground ball. Velasquez. So some damage, 1 run. But Syndergaard gets out of it, strands Vasquez.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
It's time for MLB Pitch, Hit, and Run, the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Sign up for free for a chance to play your way to the 2022 Pitch, Hit, and Run National Finals. Visit pitchhitrun.com today.
Trout and Velasquez just wrapping up. And now Trout and Joe Maddon having a conversation. Just explain, Gooby, and exactly what has to happen on the play.
The conversation there with Trout and Joe, and then with Trout and Andrew Velasquez, is where you're supposed to be as far as the cutoff position. You have to be out there to be able to get that throw and not allow that to get all the way to second base. There's not going to be a play at second base. You're not worried about that. You cut it off, because if you cut that baseball off, Carlos Fabulous is not sending him home. He's keeping him at third base. But when that baseball got all the way to second, it's going to force Luis Rengifo to get that ball in the hop and try to quickly throw over to home plate, and it was just not going to be a play. But that's the conversation. Continue going on. But you want to see that, though.
Right.
You want to know exactly where your guys. You got so many different players this season, guys playing different positions. You want to have those conversations, because that hurts, that run there.
Little flare to center field, but Bradley is there for out number one in the bottom of the second.
And here's Hyundai key for the game tonight on Boston. Don't look back. Don't worry about what happened in the past. That's over. As soon as that game was over, the flight back, it's all about what you're going to do here today. So don't look back. Don't look back and take third strikes as well. Be aggressive. But don't worry about what happened in the past. Just think about what you can do as a player today to help your team win a game.
Which means you have to, put that last play in the rearview mirror also, because
and learn from it.
Right. I mean, but to me, Verdugo looked like he was on his way. I'm sure Feblis would have probably held him if he hits the cutoff guy, but it was really good base running. Basically scoring all the way from first on a base hit. But
that didn't even get all the way to the wall. Trot did a nice job of cutting that one off. Marsh has never faced Michael Wacha before, and his #1 pitch is a changeup, so that's going to be a lower part of the strike zone. This should be a good advantage for Marsh against him. Now, as long as he can avoid swinging that four-seam fastball there upstairs, he'll have success. And pitchers are trying to run the fastball above the strike zone against Marshy, but he's got to bring that one down, and if he does, he'll make good contact tonight.
2-2. There's that changeup from Wacha. You look at the opponent average on off-speed pitches. Michael Wacha, minimum 150 thrown. Opponent batting average of 111.
It's amazing what he's done and what he's transformed. He was a guy at one point was with the Cardinals. He was upper 90s with his fastball. He's really learned how to pitch. And when you've dealt with some injuries and you've bounced back and you persevere, because it looked like it for a while there, you didn't know if he was going to be able to stick around. He was always a great arm, but he's made the adjustment using his changeup as his main weapon now.
The 3-2. fly ball left field. Verdugo is there. And with 2 down in the second, let's give you a quick word from Jack in the Box.
My $5.99 double bacon cheesy Jack combo with double the bacon and double the cheese. Order on the Jack app today.
He's tough on lefties, is Michael Wacha. They hit just 161 against him, and when runners get in scoring position, even locks it down even more. It's been, obviously we talk about the, how good Boston's hitters have been, but their pitching really has been the reason why they have turned this season around. Now occupied the 3rd wild card in the American League. As Luis Rengifo steps in with 2 down.
But you could flip that around with a win tonight.
Yep. So it's the back end of their bullpen, I suppose, that maybe has been the issue. They don't know exactly who their guy is to close down games. But the bullpen's been the issue for the Halos during this losing streak.
Wacha's not a big strikeout guy. There's 27 of them in 40+ innings, now 41+ innings.
2-1. Wacha hasn't walked a batter in the last 2 starts.
How do you have a name like Wacha and not walk anybody?
You work really, really hard at it. Home plate umpire Chris Conroy and Wacha trying to buy some time for Vasquez behind the plate. And Gooby, I know you've been on some teams that have won, and you've been on some teams that have unfortunate streaks like this. What have you seen has been the reason?
Well, I've been on teams before. We started one year
to
with
get out.
Royals. We were 1-16, and the Cleveland Indians at that point started off 15-2. So you're thinking you're almost out of it. But just before that strike hit in '94, we had won 14 straight. So you could turn that around. You can't worry about it, because if you think what happened the day before, even what's been going on the last 11 games, that kills you. That really slows you down as far as your mental preparation. But again, all these guys were out here early today. And when you have minor league pitchers coming in and throwing a sim game, that's how focused you are to get yourself and your timing right, like Trout did today.
You see Noah is ready to get back out on the hill. Maybe Luis can make him wait just a little bit longer with a 2-out knock.
Pretty interesting. Mike Trout went from Andrew Velazquez, Joe Maddon, now talking to Mike Gallego, who's basically working with all the outfield and infield defense and where to be and have guys stationed. So even the very best are working to get better than Mike Trout.
Every single game here at home, and I'm sure he was doing it on the road. I wasn't on the trip, but he'll work out there in center field with Damon Mayshore. There's a nice fielding percentage, stays at 1,000 for Benji Gill. And they'll work on, Mayshore's going to be hitting them some ground balls, left, right.
This is more of a conversation because Mike Gallego works with the infielders. He wants to know exactly where their infielders do. And you're right, with him and Damon, they're working hard all the time. He was working on that because sometimes outfield grass is cut differently, so it's going to move different.
Is it possible that somebody wasn't in the right position and Mike threw it to the right spot?
There's always that possibility, but that's why you talk to each other, because you can't allow those plays to happen. You're trying to put yourself in position against a team that's playing exceptionally well like the Red Sox. You can't allow them to get a run like that, especially with Noah Syndergaard is able to get the next out. Good at bat working here for Rengifo.
Another full count.
It's giving Joe Adell some pitches to see as he waits on deck.
Yeah, good battle for Rengifo.
That was a tough changeup, but he fouled off.
One 0 Boston, bottom of the second. The 3-2. Rengifo drives that one center field. Bradley going back on it, and he makes the catch.
He is so good in the outfield as far as tracking down baseballs.
Well, when he got there, he made it look easy.
I got the mic today. I got the mic. You got the mic. I got the mic today.
Mom, I'm sorry if you hear anything that is said tonight. I apologize. I love you. I haven't talked to you in a few days.
Lo tuyo es rolling, olvídate de los fly. Déjame los play a mí, lo tuyo es para abajo. Tengo dicho a la gente que me ponga el micrófono todos los días. Claro.
To 3 hits by the Red Sox. That was a changeup that was down more of the plate than he wants. That fastball ran over middle of the plate for Dugo, and then Vasquez, after a long at bat, a 3-2 fastball hard of the plate. So all 3 times on the hits with 2 strikes. He's fought his way to get to that point. Hasn't got that swing and miss pitch yet. He's had some soft contact and he's thrown a ton of strikes.
Second time through the Red Sox order as Christian Arroyo leads off and takes strike 1.
That's a good sinker. It was real good movement. And now here we go again.
Yeah.
0-2 count, looking for that finish pitch.
Well, in the old days, he had that heater that ran close to 100 miles an hour. Not close, at and above. But after the Tommy John and nearly 2 years off, he's had to reinvent himself, and he's been pretty good, especially here at the Big A in his first year as an Angel.
Really trying to find his feel for a slider. Hasn't been able to get it close enough to get a swing out of the zone yet. Remember, he had a big pop-up against Arroyo in the first inning to Velasquez.
Count remains 1-2.
I'm a big believer, if you're a pitcher, you haven't quite had a feel of whether you have a slider or a curveball. When you go out there to warm up in between innings, that's when you throw maybe 3 or 4 sliders instead of your customary 1 or 2 as far as your warm-up pitch, just to get a better feel for it. Start in the strike zone and then eventually work it off the plate.
It's been a 15% slider so far, 5% curveball, slider percentage then down. How much would you amp up that slider when you in warm-up? Would you throw it like full?
Because in my mindset, that was the way to get as close to game feel for it as you're going to. Even though there's nobody in the batter's box at that point, but I envisioned somebody being in there. That way it's ready to throw when I needed a strikeout. So he threw a pretty good changeup foul, 4-seam fastball above the strike zone at 95, and a foul ball.
Is that where he gets into trouble with that 4-seamer up in the zone?
Yeah, when it gets the upper part of the zone.
And that one's been hit. The sinker, on the other hand, has had great success. 1-2 to Arroyo. Fly ball, left field. Brandon Marsh, Velasquez going back, and Marsh has it for out number 1 here in the 3rd.
Yeah, with a curveball, but going back to that conversation, Patrick, between the 4-seam and 2-seamer, his sinker, opponent's batting average of 395. This 100 versus sinker slugging percentage. You see the difference, 697, 120, and the hard hit rate significant, 6% higher on a 4-seam fastball. Yes, generally you think 4-seamer is going to come in a little harder, But when you look at the miles per hour, they're very similar, so it's not a huge difference like he had in the past, where his four-seamer averaged about 99 miles an hour, his sinker was about 93, 94. They're very similar. But it's good to see he got it out with his curveball, and he starts off the first pitch with a nice slider.
A slider for strike one to the hottest hitter in the game, Rafael Devers. Angels have a shift on to the right side. Velasquez in short right. Duffy is in near the grass on the left side, but he's going to back up now with 2 strikes.
He's got some good sink. There's a difference between his four-seam fastball and the movement of the pitch, even though very similar as far as velocity, but there's movement and a reason why he's been successful with his sinkers compared to his four-seamer so far this season. He was late on that sinker because it had late movement to it.
Again, 0-2.
And going back, and you can see the difference. Take a look at our frontier play sense between the four-seam fastball is at 93, and where it's spotted in the zone, it's a lot of the plate and allows the hitter to be able to track it, and it's more flatter than it would be his sinker. But you look at his sinker at this one, just about 95 miles an hour, how much movement he has to create that soft contact on the ground.
0-2, fouled off again. Let's keep this going. This is good.
Yeah, go back to our StatCast 3D. The comparison between his four-seam fastball and his two-seam fastball. The vertical movement, horizontal movement, the late movement where you talk about with a sinker, how much that baseball will drop as far as vertical sink action as compared to horizontal movement where the four-seamer stays flat on a plane where it goes to the barrel of the bat.
Well, the 0-2 is lifted to left field, and Brandon Marsh is there. He's been busy, and 2 down. How important is it for him to feature the four-seam and the sinker? Because if the four-seam is not as good, maybe just, you know, the conventional wisdom, yeah, just stay with the sinker then.
But he can control the four-seamer a little bit better in all 4 quadrants of the strike zone. The sinker has movement. Sometimes it's more of a difficult pitch for Noah to have consistent strike zone success. So that four-seamer is enough in there to show it, and he's going to get better with that. I know he's going to get better as he gets stronger and he pitches more. And there's going to be an uptick in the velocity of his fastball at the four-seamer. But I love that vertical movement he has with his sinker, and how much success he's had with that.
Deception too, right? Maybe they not picking up that four-seam, think it's going to be the sinker. So far tonight, 33% sinker, 25% four-seam. Working in the slider and the changeup and the curveball. Catches the bat. 1-1.
That's a good indication of a very good fastball hitter in a swing like that with the movement. Going back to we talked the sinker. That is some movement. I still think too, going, you know, next level for Noah Syndergaard, pitching inside. A guy that big on the mound, you pitch inside, throw some pitches like that on the handle of the bat, you're going to be that much better.
It stays away to Martinez there. 2-1. This is a lineup that would rival the Angels lineup if they were completely healthy. A healthy Rendon, a healthy Taylor Ward, and stack them against these guys. Hit well. Velasquez gets a glove on it, but that's going to be a base hit. 2-out knock for JD. Maybe if he comes up with that clean, he's got a shot.
There's a reason why he's hitting so high versus fastballs, even though it had some movement to it. 95, brought his hands in, hit it well. And with that arm he has, Velasquez always had a shot no matter who's running down there. So 370 versus fastballs. It almost got to that baseball, hit that one hard.
One thing Noah Syndergaard has had in this game is traffic in all 3 innings. Xander Bogaerts takes a strike. There's a hit in the first, 2 hits in the second, including a run, and single here in the third. 4 hits so far for Boston. Game 1 of a 4-game series. Foul back towards us. 0-2.
Patio, we've been pretty safe up here so far this year.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too comfortable in any way.
It's an 0-2 pitch now. See if he'd get that swing and miss chase. Looks like he's going with a slider. Started on the corner and break off the outside part.
And that ball is driven and hit well. And it gets all the way to the wall. Gets past Marsh. J.D. Martinez going to be held up at third. So 2-out double now, second and third here in the top of the third inning.
Still amazing. Another hit, 0-2. 8 now for 17. 0-2. Went changeup.
Just comes down to location, right, Gooby?
And when you go over some scouting reports on hitters, Bogarts is pretty good on all-speed, non-fastballs. Batting average 333. He's got 30 hits now on non-fastballs. So he does a good job of keeping his hands back. That means he's susceptible to a fastball in his hands. Fortunate enough, it got in there quick. Already a huge moment in the game now for the Angels.
Brings up Alex Verdugo, who singled to lead off the second and scored the game's only run. His third year already in Boston. Syndergaard ahead of Verdugo, 0-1. Runners at second and third. Four-seamer misses up. J.D. Martinez with a single, advanced to third on a double by Xander. Syndergaard retired the first 2 hitters of this inning. Gets the call.
So 2 sliders in this at bat against Verdugo for strikes, looking. He didn't like that call, but it got the upper part of the strike zone.
A little bit of a delay from Chris Conroy behind the plate as Verdugo talking to himself. 1-2.
Means you got a chance to get a hitter to chase something out of the strike zone when you see a hitter frustrated on a call.
Well, he chased and he tapped it to Rengifo. What a job by Syndergaard to strand a pair at second and third and keep the game right where it is, 1-0.
From inside jokes.
Hey, look, it's Mike Napafanakis.
To insider's perspectives.
I like over 5.5 strikeouts on Walker Buehler.
Your best bet is the pregame spread. Served up only on MLB Network.
Baseball's biggest moments are live on MLB Big Inning. MLB.TV's nightly show takes you from game to game for all the grand slams, no-hitters, walk-offs, and more as they happen.
Wow, he can do it all!
Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel.
This is some kind of awesome.
After your game ends, the action's just heating up on MLB Big Inning. Every night on MLB.TV.
The first 25,000 fans will receive a golf rope hat courtesy of U Theory Turmeric. For more on this season's giveaways, visit angels.com/promotions. Forgot to mention what a gorgeous night it is here at the Big Game. Must be nice to get back home for you, I'm sure. Gooby. That's popped up. First pitch, Joe Adell. Vasquez runs into the netting. It's 0-1.
I think the overall feeling for everybody on that flight back when we landed in SoCal, everyone excited about playing some baseball. I love the fact that you got a chance to play right away tonight. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Even though you think, okay, maybe the flight back from Philadelphia, about a 5-hour flight. No, these guys wanted to go out and work. Even talked to a number of them on the ride back out of the airport. They were ready. Trouty, Suzuki, Archie Bradley, they were all ready to rock and roll today.
It's the same group that was 11 games, 10 games over 500. It's the exact same group. Some guys are injured, and you know, Anthony Rendon and Taylor Ward. But the talent is there.
This guy is big right here in the lineup. Gives that length in the lineup.
Joe Adell, second stint back with the big club, just recalled when Ward went on the IL.
Hit 6 home runs and 15 RBIs in AAA in 19 games. It's a pretty good changeup. Yeah. Wow, it's at the mercy of the home plate umpire on that.
Yes, he was, but he is there to face another pitch from Michael Wacha. 3-1 on the year with a 2.43 ERA coming in. And works the count full. This is the third.
It's back-to-back three full count. I mean, full counts against Rengifo now and Adell. So some battles here.
Feel like maybe Marsh might have worked it to 3-2.
He's not afraid to throw a 3-2 changeup to a righty.
Up the middle. And Trevor Story's there. Cordero has to hustle to get to first. He does, but out number 1 here in the bottom of the third.
You look at the difference between this season and ERA over 5 over the last 3 seasons. Whip, a lot more traffic. Opponent's batting average, 841 the last 3 seasons, has really figured it out and trusting his off speed. His cutter, he'll throw, but his changeup has been a difference maker. It's his first ground ball out of the game. He's about 44.2% ground ball rate.
And Velasquez, 2 for 2 is Benji Gill. When you look at those numbers from Wacha, yet he got himself a contract with the Boston Red Sox. They saw something that was going to turn those numbers around. It's not going to get any easier for the Angels with the pitching staff that is coming in here for Boston. The Angels pitchers for the rest of this 4-game series, TBD. Expecting to find out Joe Maddon is going to go with. Post game, stick around for Angels Live Post. It's nice to see King Fish, Tim Salmon, and GA Garrett Anderson here on the show with Frenchie. And those guys, just like you can, having lived it, us, you know, regular folk, just see all the losses and you don't understand necessarily what goes into it. You're frustrated, sure, but y'all lived it.
That's not like football. If you have a bad game, you got to wait 7 days to play again. You play the very next day.
Velasquez sends that to left field. Verdugo is there. And for 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. So with Matt Duffy coming up, let's go to our Kia player profile on Duffy, who at the plate entering today has been very, very solid. He always provides a very good at-bat. And man, he was so close to purging himself of the error last night, gave the team a chance to win.
It's always about the big part of the field approach. There's a better chance, a better opportunity to be successful because there's more ground in a big part of the field. That's what his swing has been. Even the first at bat hit it well, but Jackie Bradley Jr. ran that one down.
Yeah, he sure did. Bradley Jr. also running down that Rengifo shot. This would be a nice time for Duffy to come up with something here with Ohtani on deck. No ground ball in the hole. Devers throws across and gets Duffy at first. It's a 1-2-3 third for Wacha. The Red Sox lead the Halos 1-0.
Using the old baseball stats only gives you part of the puzzle. But when we challenge ourselves using advanced tools and modern thinking, you'll see the bigger picture.
Challenge all things baseball with MLB Now, only on MLB Network.
It's time for MLB Pitch Hit and Run. the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball. Sign up for free for a chance to play your way to the 2022 Pitch Hit and Run National Finals. Visit pitchhitrun.com today.
Halos trailing Boston 1-0, top of the fourth. Noah Syndergaard, Gooby, strike percentage really good, thrown 59 pitches, 45 for strikes.
Around the strike zone with some, he's thrown a few more sliders, at least early in the count, to get in the strike zone. Hasn't got that swing and miss, none so far, 0 swing and misses for Thor, but getting outs, getting soft contact. Tried another slider, first pitch. And we're just a little off the plate. Not by a lot.
Trevor Story popped up back in the second inning. The big free agent offseason signing for Boston. Hey, there you go. Swing and a miss.
That was a tight, good slider. Stayed on top of that one very well.
Been throwing his changeup with a higher velo than the slider. Is that normal?
Yeah, because you'll see that quite a bit. It's just about the grip. It's just a little separation between his sinker and his changeup.
Sinker just misses 2-1. Trying to hit his spots. Like to see another tight slider. Noah's ready to go, but Trevor's making him wait. Angels play Story straight up.
Interesting alignment in the outfield, though. Joe Adell playing very deep in right. Brandon Marsh playing very shallow in left. And when you go back to that string for Trevor Story, especially at Fenway Park, he was hitting a lot of baseballs to left field, getting over the Green Monster. Now, granted, where he's at right now might be right around where the Green Monster is, so that's not that far away. But he's playing pretty shallow in left.
The 2-2, did he go? Jack says no, he did not.
It's pretty close. A little tight slider again. Looked like he was able to hold up. Close, low, though, kept going.
Keeps going.
You know what? He's out.
Thank you. I was going to say, you have changed. 3-2. That's, oh, he got the call. Maybe a little makeup. And that's the first strikeout for Noah Syndergaard.
I think that's one of those Max Stassi specials, getting that call.
Sure.
Kept it right there. Brought it. Didn't move it up. Just brought it over just slightly. And that's about at least a baseball off the outside part of the plate. So that's a Max Stassi strike. First punch out of the game for Syndergaard.
Sticking with the makeup call. But no, excellent job by Stassi, of course, framing as Franchi Cordero takes strike one. In your career versus Boston as a righty pitching in that park, that Green Monster probably frustrated you a bit. Did you have the same sort of hatred for the Red Sox as you did the Yankees? Not quite the same?
Anybody was wearing a different uniform, I didn't have any friendships on the other side. But, you know, it's one of those ballparks where, you know, if you gave up a fly ball to left field, that was a mistake by me because I was a ground ball pitcher. So if it's a fly ball, it's a home run. It's my mistake. It wasn't. It was one of the, it's an out in other ballparks. It's a bad pitch by me if I got the ball in the air. Although I might not have said that back then. I say it now.
A little revisionist history. 1-2 to Cordero, who's been hot of late. 6 extra base hits, 15 RBI in his last 13 games. Boston's a team that has won 13 of 18. Climbed back to 500. That's that same pitch that got Story, but on the inside part of the plate. Calling a ball to Cordero.
Cordero 2 for 4 in his career versus Syndergaard. Does he try his changeup?
The 2-2. Hit well. Oh, the backhand by Jared Walsh. Dives to first base, and he gets him.
And the thing that's even more impressive, he knows diving that he had to bring back his head and neck because of the possibility of Frenchie Cordero running right into him. So an athletic play. We know how good he stretches, but this is a tough play. Look at the dive, and then know when he's coming that way, move himself back. Go a little matrix to get away from the runner going down the line. So good at first base. Able to avoid contact.
That's beautiful.
Quick hands and quicker reaction after that dive to the bag.
All around excellent play from the Angels first baseman. And brings up Christian Vasquez. Back in that second inning. Hit that single. Got credited with an RBI when Verdugo scored all the way from first. It's the only run of the game. Some miscommunication between Trout and cutoff man. They've worked it out.
So sequence a 75-mile-an-hour curveball, lower third for a strike. That sinker at 93, just a little bit off the plate. Good sequence working so far for Syndergaard versus Vasquez.
It's driven to center field. Mike Trout going back on it. Has his eye on it. Squeezes it for the third out here in the fourth. Oh, Syndergaard getting stronger as the game goes on. 1-0 Boston.
Hey, it's me. The summer breeze. I just flew back into town. Let's get outside. Much better.
Nice.
What?
With the Game Time app, I pay 60% less than this guy.
60%?
Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price. Download Game Time now. Nice shirt.
Hey guys, Gronk here to talk to you about your hair game. Hims has a full lineup of clinically proven hair loss treatments, all prescribed online by a licensed medical provider and shipped directly to your door, if appropriate. Order today and get a 90-day money-back guarantee at 4hims.com.
our broadcast booth hanging out. Gooby, so here's what the Angels were working with. My hands are not this big. This is a small baseball that they were working with.
Why couldn't I throw that back in the day?
Now take a look at that. Now they had a pitching machine called the Junior Hack Attack from 33 feet, high velo, and they just wanted, to get their eye on a smaller baseball, lock in.
And it was all about Trout too. His hands here just get to this baseball like you saw that first bat. He was getting underneath the swing. So this baseball getting on you quicker in a smaller baseball forces you to be quicker with your hands and through the baseball at a more consistent rate.
I stole this little mini baseball. Very, very cool. And Shohei Ohtani is up, bottom of the fourth. Angels down a run. Ohtani singled in the first, was picked off second to end the inning. That was on a hard ground ball by Jared Walsh. Trout had singled. He got back to first, but Ohtani was caught off the bag.
I want Shohei to stay back on a changeup here.
Changeup catches outside part of the plate, 2-1. Ohtani looks like he's ready to hit. Wow, big hack. Oh.
And as a pitcher right now with Michael Wacha seeing that type of movement, you have two options. You go right back upstairs with a fastball, or you go back to his changeup. It's going to be important to keep those feet and hips quiet now for Shohei.
The 2-2. So full count. Big pitch here coming. Mike Trout on deck. Hit well, but right to Cordero, one away. So earlier today, as Mike Trout steps in, here's some of the early work that we saw him, and it already paid off because he snapped out of that 0 for 26, and he's 1 for 1 here today. Talking with Jeremy Reed, going over the swings. And then in the first inning, Gooby, hard work. Sometimes the results work.
Sinker, how short he was through the baseball. That was the important swing. He's also now 4 for 7 against Michael Wacha. I just feel Trout is going to cover one here in this at bat. You just feel he's going to be able to time it together and drive it a long way.
Curveball in there for strike one. Get me over curve. Pretty significant home road split. Third of the way through the season.
Trout historically has hit a changeup extremely well, and curveballs at a lower third very well.
1-2. Wacha is just a complete new pitcher this year. In on the hands. A little throwback for Wacha from those early years with the Cardinals.
Boy, he tied him up there with a fastball inside. He threw him a slow curveball in the sequence, a sinker away.
He struck him out. Erica Weston is standing by, and Eric, I know you had that conversation with Joe Maddon about some of that early work in the small baseball.
Yeah, the smaller baseball, he thought maybe a bit heavier too, but the idea is to create maximum shortness, he said, to get out of the lift, try to eliminate the bad habits with guys that maybe try to do too much. But he said the theory is if you can get rid of the extra movement in your swing, you can catch up to the velocity, and that's been one of our biggest problems this year is the velocity and the bad habits. But he said he's going to be out there all week getting in that early work with some of the guys in the cages, so we can expect to see more of that.
Okay, Erica, thanks a lot. Yeah, it was reminiscent of some of the early days for Joe Maddon back maybe in the 80s as a hitting instructor, working in. Tim Salmon brought it up in the pregame show that Joe Maddon has a really good eye for hitting. Jared Walsh pops that up, and Devers is there. So that's a 1-2-3 fourth inning for Wacha. They still lead 1-0.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but here's a secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers. Like we do. Oh hi, we're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You can try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts.
Seriously?
Performances, too!
Oh, come on!
Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price.
Am I underdressed?
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Life is about balance. If I get the proper amount of sleep, then I'm gonna be ready for whatever's to come. I use Oura Ring. It's always letting me know everything that's going on with my body. The accuracy is what sets Oura apart. My sleep score is something that I'm always paying attention to. It's literally part of my morning routine. Always trying to make the most out of this thing we call life.
1,000 kids ages 3 through 13 will receive a Pop-It Spinner courtesy of OC Healthcare, agencies, children, youth, and prevention services. Visit angels.com/promotions. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Jackie Bradley Jr. leading off for Boston. They are leading 1-0. Kind of almost forget that Bradley Jr. was over with the Brewers for a year and then bounced right back to friendly confines for him in Boston.
Already he's been a Gold Glove winner. He's an outstanding defender. Solid throwing arm in the outfield. He's played a lot of right field this year. Kike Hernandez playing center field a lot for the Red Sox.
Red Sox have 8 hitters with 20 or more RBI. One of those is Kike, who's not in the lineup here tonight. That's the most in baseball. 8 with 20-plus ribbies. There was a time when the Angels had the most at 6. It's driven to left field. Brandon Marsh moving over quickly towards the line. He's got room. Oh, reaches back and makes the catch.
Does he get great jumps? He's made some really good plays here at the Big A in left field.
I think with the jumps and the catches and the plays we've seen him make, he'll be in the conversation for the Gold Glove at left field.
And he's fearless out there. So he makes the routine play, but he makes the outstanding play, the highlight reel plays. To get everyone to have that conversation like you just mentioned, Patrick, about Gold Glove finalists.
Oh, that's in on Arroyo, and he gets him.
It's his 3rd batter he has hit this season that ran in on a 2-seamer. He's trying to walk that one off. That gets the right on the forearm elbow area. It's that, you know, it's the feeling in your hand. It takes a while to get that back.
But imagine some significant pain also. We come out and look at.
It's worked his way towards the hand that had that much movement.
He's a versatile player for Boston, can play many different positions, infield, outfield, DH.
Well, the first was get him in the forearm, but that got him, well, right on the elbow. Thought that's where it got him, and it feels it all the way down to the wrist area. Ooh, right on the elbow.
Generally, these guys will stay in. They're tough as nails. But then as the game goes on, there's some swelling and some stiffness. He's going to have to get that on some ice. So a 1 out. Hit batsman brings up Rafael Devers, 1 for 2.
And the 3 guys we talked about in the opening potentially up this inning.
Arroyo has 1 stolen base. He starts off Devers with the changeup for a strike.
So far, he's got a hit versus a changeup, fly out to left field on his changeup.
Season that Devers is having, he's going to be in the front running for the MVP.
Boy.
Big rip right there. So the big 3 for the Red Sox since 2019. Look at these ranks. It's insane.
The hits, as far as extra base hits, Devers is a doubles machine. I mean, RBIs, that's a difficult task as a pitcher to go through these 3 guys. But it's one of those ones as a pitcher, you love that challenge of facing these guys. Love that challenge.
All 3 of the big 3 have hits tonight. This is the dangerous man for sure.
And this is another one of those 0-2 counts. He's given up a couple hits. Noah Syndergaard on 0-2 pitches. So he's trying to make sure he's either getting a swing and miss here or some soft contact to one of his infielders. Devers is rolling into 3 double plays. He runs pretty well.
Runners on the move. That's popped up. Arroyo's going to have to hustle back. Rengifo. Trout calls him off, makes the catch.
It's a nice job by Trout not giving up on the baseball. He saw that. Yeah, you can see right there that Luis Rengifo was struggling to see that. It's that time of the night where sometimes the baseball blends in, even though it's not sunny, but it blends in with the color of the sky. And Trout read that, did not give up on it, runs it down. A pop up. Oh, a long way up there. Frustrated one. Good job by Trout, never giving up on that one.
Hang time. Duffy trying to deke Arroyo. Decent job. So they had a play on with Arroyo running.
On 2 strikes, too. That hang time on that pop-up, 6.89 seconds.
Nice pitch.
That's one of those pitches. I'm not going back there again because I think J.D. Martinez is setting him up on that one, that spot. That's where he has his power, right center.
Just the way J.D. Martinez was staring out to the mound, looks like he's trying to set him up.
You notice how his body language, he was tracking. He was thinking, okay, I got him. But he went slider in there. Good decision by Stassi and Syndergaard. Former Red Sox Dwight Evans was one of the best I've ever seen at doing that. Jim Rice was also pretty good. That's a
Arroyo
huge
is
job.
on the move, swing and a miss, and he steals it. Stole that on Syndergaard.
Tried to keep the tag on him.
Stassi's trying to have a conversation. Not trying, he is having a conversation
because
with Chris Conroy.
On the follow through on the throw. See if he was able to.
Yeah, the bat looks like it catches Stassi on the follow through in the back. Wonder maybe if that's the discretion of the home plate umpire of whether or not he feels Stassi had a play.
I think it's more when you have the guy standing over the plate. I don't think, and you're going to try to get together on this, but I'd be surprised if they brought him back to first. It's not going to be thrown out. They can move him back to first base, but that's the follow through on his normal swing. As a catcher, you're catching and going forward. That's the only reason why I think there was contact made. It'd be a break if that was the case to get him back to first base. But I like that Joe went out, at least got the guys together, the umpiring crew, see if anybody else saw something. And when you see a hand like that as well, there's nothing you can do. That's going to be a stolen base.
Some of the players are checking on Arroyo at second base about where he got hit by the pitch. Here's another look.
I think it's more when he's falling back towards the plate on the throw. I know he got him on the follow through, but that's his normal swing.
That's only the 13th stolen base on the season for Boston.
Second for Arroyo.
So runner in scoring position, 2 down, top of the 5th inning, 1-0 Boston. Arroyo was hit by a pitch. Devers popped up to Mike Trout. Now 2-2 to J.D. Martinez.
J.D. Martinez is so good looking away and hit the ball away. This is a time where, for Noah Syndergaard to run that hard sinker in on his hands. See if he goes inside on him. He's looking away a lot of these pitches.
Full count. First base is open. Xander Bogaerts is on deck. Three-two coming to Martinez. And he walks him. So first and second, 2 down. With that, let's give you a quick word from Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own it in the Hyundai Santa Fe.
Patrick, that entire at bat, J.D. Martinez was tracking away. Remember that first pitch he took? Okay, at that point he knew the strike zone. So then he was not going to chase anything off the plate. The only way you can go back out and get that other part of the outside corner again was to establish something off the plate in. Then he has to be concerned about that because Noah Syndergaard throws hard with movement.
Brings up another tough out. Xander Bogaerts coming in hitting .323. It's 1 for 2 with a double. Wow.
Take that one.
That is way off the plate.
Slider. I've said it a couple times already in this game, but this is one of those moments because the way Michael Wacha's throwing, this is a huge part of the game. Get this guy at the plate who's an excellent hitter. And Bogaerts keep it a 1-0 deficit.
Maybe even go a little further outside after getting that call. You want something in on the hands.
Yep.
There's a ground ball. Tough hop. Duffy has it. Throws over to Rengifo.
On the hands.
Force out. In on the hands. And it remains 1-0 to the bottom of the 5th.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stand.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run. Mike Piazza.
The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome.
That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record. It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Xander Bogaerts, he's run that fastball in on the hands enough after the slider away, some movement, 95-mile-an-hour fastball towards the handle of the bat, didn't get quite the barrel on it. He grounds out at a force out. 5-4, finish off the inning. Thor getting the job done, keeping it close, battling. 90 pitches. Fourth time he's thrown at least 90 pitches. Looking for some offensive support now.
Yeah, he's got great numbers here at home, Syndergaard does. And Max Stassi leading off bottom half of the 5th inning. Angels down 1-0. They return home from a tough road trip, tough stretch. Looking to end a tough 11-game losing streak. Oh, what a play. Oh, is he off the bag? No, he kept his foot on. Did Cordero, Trevor Story hit
Benji Gill was looking right at the foot on the base. Did he keep it there? Gonna take a long look at it. Story got to that baseball, balance high throw. Richie Cordero, did he keep his foot on it? Just deflected enough. Look by Wacha. That was real close. Looks like they're gonna challenge it. It looks like he's, ooh, that's real close. Does he have the cleat on that corner?
Then doesn't he reach the foot back again to try to tap it?
Los Angeles is challenging the out call at first base.
There's some separation there. That's a little better angle. You feel a little better than that first one.
Oh, yeah, that was the reach. It's our Nissan umpire review.
Hey, when you look back like that, you feel that you weren't on the base. Believe me, if you see a pitcher cover the base and they give that step back, that means you probably felt you didn't stay connected with the base. This could be a big move right here.
Again, like the situation is, will this be, the call stands, which is, he's called out. Is there enough to overturn it? I would love a situation where New York, they get the play, but they don't know what the call is on the field. So they have to determine safe or out. And then if there's like all right, we can't make a decision. What was the call on the field? We'll go with that. But I'm going to have to say this is going to have to stand.
Are you going with the stand?
I'm going to because it's so close and the way it's been going.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out. Los Angeles loses their challenge.
Wow. You see the reaction from the Boston dugout? They were in absolute shock that it stands.
For me, it's either overturned or it's confirmed.
They don't have enough evidence. The way this is situated, the way the rule is, it's unfortunate.
That one angle you thought maybe the one, and then the other angle, like there's no way he was on the bag.
That certainly is a big out. But it's 2-0 here to Marsh. Pops it up. Trevor Story has it. And we have 2 away here in the 5th. Just like that.
It's amazing how a call like that can change everything around.
No doubt.
But bottom line is you got to have some good passes at the plate here. Good swings, good hard contact.
How about a bloop and a blast? Luis Rengifo with 2 down and Joe Adell on deck. It's amazing how many breaks have gone against this Halo team during this stretch. It's unreal. Strike 1.
But now is the time you got to create your own breaks. Get a baseball here and get to the alley.
Also in there, 0-2.
That's a pretty good cutter. He hasn't thrown a ton of cutters. He's in about 14% cutter usage.
Feel like we've seen less than that tonight. Looks like a quick shake off.
That's a pitch that has been hit pretty hard. 3 home runs allowed versus his cutter of the 4.
Oh, and he got him looking. 3 pitches. So it was the review that turned this inning around. How about the reaction from behind Stassi? Yeah, they can't believe it stood, and neither could the manager of the Angels, Joe Maddon. I'm sure the fans feel the same way as Joe.
There's something about a park. The swings, the slides, the dogs. You can throw your food and wear it proudly. It's where showing off is encouraged, even if it doesn't always work out.
So, you in?
It is showtime!
Noah Syndergaard back out there. He has done his job tonight, giving his team a chance to win. Alex Verdugo leading off. Swinging at that curveball, but it's 0-1.
Got 6 batters in this lineup with double digits in doubles this season.
Driven towards center field. Mike Trout has a jump on it, leaps up, makes the catch. Didn't even have to leap up, ran it down.
It's all that angle he took. Exit velocity of 105 miles per hour, but the angle and how quick that first step was. That baseball was rocketed out towards center field. Maybe Trout told Syndergaard in the dugout, he goes, hey, I'm going to make a nice play for you to start off the inning. And when he outdid it, it's our Arco top-tier play by Trouty, running it down at the wall.
Is it ever great play by Mike Trout, who's had tremendous jumps all season long. You saw Ramon Vasquez, the first base coach for the Red Sox, already waving Verdugo to second. Sorry, that man had it. That's just a big catch considering the score, the time of the game.
That's a man on second to lead off an inning.
And you just mentioned all those doubles. He just took one away. Halos are going to have to scratch and claw for a run or two, hopefully, in this game. Oh, 0-1 to Trevor Story. 0-2 now.
Looking for that finish pitch. 0-2. Got him looking last time up.
Matt Wise on the horn down towards that Angels bullpen. Closing in on 100 pitches for Noah.
He's only done that once this year. That was rated at 100.
Oh, got him looking.
Trevor Story feels that pitch might have been above the strike zone. It was borderline. It's a slider. I think when you look at this pitch, Syndergaard got a break here. He wanted it down, but it was up. It looked like it, well, but according to our Strike zone there, just catches it. The target, though, set by Max Stassi was down. But he did a nice job, even though he wanted that pitch down. He kept the glove there and presented it in the strike zone. And Trevor Story not real happy about that.
Did Stassi steal another one?
Yes. Trevor Story now 1 for 14 versus Syndergaard in his career. 1 for 14.
Noah's going to take those numbers. Franchi Cordero now up 2 outs here, top of the 6th.
That's a good changeup.
Yes, he did. Charlie Ramos, third base umpire, says yes, he did.
Trevor Story is an intense competitor.
One and 2.
Back to another changeup.
Haven't seen many swings and misses tonight against Syndergaard. Got that one from Franchi Cordero. You think Franchi's thinking about maybe a Franchi interview before the series is over?
No Franchi's friends for Franchi.
Okay. You took it and won.
Now he might be.
How about it? Back-to-back strikeouts, 3 on the night for Noah Syndergaard. He's given his team a chance to win. And we head to the bottom half.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues.
Big leagues of what? Law. Art. Construction. Baseball.
How'd you guess?
With the help of Major League Baseball, the Boys and Girls Clubs of America help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
The game here at the Big A. Who you gonna call? You're gonna call the Rally Monkey. This day in Angels baseball, June 6, 2000. The Rally Monkey makes his first appearance. And Tim Salmon and then Mo Vaughn driving in Ersty. Go Ersty!
Head dog, and Ersty's sliding in, avoiding the tag. That's Tim McClellan, by the way. Tall umpire making that call.
Well, we're getting towards that time of the game where we just might have to rely on the Rally Monkey.
That's a great job, and I got a big hug from Matt Weiss to Noah Syndergaard. I love that one thing he showed. He was showing separation between his fastball and changeup, why he was effective tonight.
Right. 99 pitches for Syndergaard, 71 for strikes, 3 Ks and just 1 swinging. That ended that 6th inning to Cordero. So, bottom 6, 1-run game, 0-2 to Adele.
Fastball average 94.4, average changeup velocity 88.4, so some separation. And then he mixed in a couple of those slow curveballs, slider. He started getting a little bit better feel for it, including getting that borderline call, 3rd strike on Story on his slider upstairs, 83.
It was just a quality start for Noah Syndergaard. And we saw Jimmy Herget was getting up towards Middle of that 6th inning, top half. 99 pitches, just one shy of a season high. Only one walk, one earned run. Adell works it back to 2-2.
You know that speed that Joe Adell has, but he also has great power, and he's got really good power to right center.
Herget, or as Joe Maddon likes to call him, Hergé. French-Canadian pronunciation. Adell stays alive. Saw Joe make some pretty good defensive plays yesterday in Philadelphia. Wacha's 2-2 to Adell, and he got him. When we mentioned the Rally Monkey, we also have to tell you about the 20th anniversary of the O2 World Series. You have to join us and celebrate with us on Wednesday, June 22nd, as the Angels take on the Royals. Arrive early for a pregame ceremony. Stick around for a special post-game fireworks show. Visit angels.com/promotions for details. So one away brings up Velasquez. Now 0-1. And we have, of course, Kingfish and GA here tonight. I wonder how many we're going to be able to get here from that O2 team to celebrate with us.
I'm really looking forward to that.
So
seeing
much.
those guys. See Adam Kennedy more than likely come around. Darren Erstad. Percy, you need to see Percy.
Ball is lifted to left field. No problem for Verdugo. 2 away. Brings up Matt Duffy. As effective as Syndergaard has been, let's not take anything away from the zeros that have been put up from Michael Wacha. Doesn't seem like it's anything flashy or high velocity, wow type stuff, but he's around the zone.
Yeah, he paints the corners, the 4 quadrants. He avoids the middle of the plate. Got good career numbers against the Angels, coming in 2-0 with an ERA under 1.
Inside 1-1, excuse me, 2-0 to Matt Duffy.
As a leadoff guy, you love to set the table and give Shohei Ohtani a chance. But Wacha's pitched him well so far. Get him out in front of the little base hit he had and a soft line to the first.
Oh, looking to get, oh, it's ruled fair, just over the bag. Duffy is going to trot into second base, 2-out double.
Looks like Devers is looking in, pointing into Alex Cora in the bench to say that might have went foul.
Oh, I'll tell you, from my vantage point, I was surprised to see Charlie Ramos rule that fair, but all it has to do is catch a corner of the bag.
So over that the base, it's not. It doesn't have to be over in the chalk line when it's by the bag. He's right over seeing the corner. That's a tough one. That'd be almost impossible to overturn because he's got an angle where he's seeing it's going over the corner of the bag. Doesn't matter where it ends up past the bag. It's over the bag. Now chance here for Shohei as Matt Duffy sets the table in scoring position.
Nice call, partner. Ohtani looking to give the Halos a lead. Starts him off with the sinker in the zone. Ohtani fouls it off. He's 1 for 2.
Love to see him just get one of those change-ups. Just serve it on the line, left center. He's pulled 2 baseballs so far.
Have to find a way to tie this game up. In there, 0-2. Paint from Wacha. was out of the zone, but Ohtani did enough to get a piece of it.
He's had some big hits in his career versus the Red Sox, including a home run over Green Monster, then by pesky pole against Matt Barnes, at 97 or 98 mile-an-hour fastball game-winning home run. Fenway Park.
Well, this is a huge moment for this team. And he got him. Struck him out. Score remains 1-0. Michael Wacha through 6, scoreless.
To the track, to the wall. He made the catch.
Catch your team.
Oh, what a play.
My team.
He leaps and makes the catch.
Every team.
As good as it gets.
Only on MLB Network.
It is gone.
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup,
Swing and a miss.
or runs one down.
He caught it. Oh, you won't see a better one than that.
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
Is brought to you by Hyundai. To learn about Hyundai's advanced technology and award-winning safety, visit buyhyundai.com or see your SoCal Hyundai dealers today. By Jack in the Box, introducing the new $5.99 double bacon cheesy Jack combo at Jack in the Box. Order on the Jack app today. And by your Southern California Cadillac dealers. Tight ball game here at the Big A. Top 7, Boston clinging to a 1-0 lead over the Angels, bringing in Jimmy Herget in his 20th game of work. Just saw him in Philly.
Joe Maddon's really good about giving a guy a chance to bounce right back and just kind of erase that bad feeling he had yesterday.
Well, that's a great moment for him then here. Cleanse the palate. That tough one last night, because you're in it right here. Christian Vasquez is 1 for 2.
It's an excellent effort tonight, an outing by Noah Syndergaard.
Syndergaard had 10 0-2 counts. But 4 of those 10 resulted in a hit. But 18 of 25 first pitch strikes. No first pitch hits for the Red Sox off of Syndergaard, so a lot of positives in his game here tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike to Christian Vasquez.
Wow, that had some movement. Yeah. He just drops that elbow. He throws some that arm angle to begin with. He dropped that elbow a little bit more so. You create that running action. It's tough to get out of the way of his right-handed batter.
There's a ground ball. Duffy is there, has time, throws across, and 1 away. With 1 out, we'll give you a quick word from Kia.
presenting Kia's lineup of exceptionally capable all-wheel drive SUVs.
Good pitch there, Gooby from Herget, 2-1 to get Vasquez to ground out.
It's amazing how you'll get soft contact after an up and in pitch like that.
Why is that?
Because now the hitter's whoa, is he going to come back in on me? So I'm not comfortable going away. And then you throw a breaking ball off the end of the bat, opens up that outer half.
Jackie Bradley Jr. first pitch swinging. Shift is on. Velasquez scoops it up and throws him out 2 away.
Said that a number of times over the years. The late great Don Drysdale told me, the hitter has a part of the plate, you have the part of the plate. As a pitcher, your job is to never let them know which part of the plate deserves that at bat. Because it could be the inside corner, could be the outside corner. Your job as a pitcher to not let him feel comfortable looking for his spot of the plate. Simple as that.
Well, you make it sound simple. Going out there and executing sometimes is a challenge. First pitch in there, upper part of the zone. That sinking fastball from Jimmy Herget has Christian Arroyo questioning the call. Quickly 0-2. Arroyo was hit on that elbow back in the 5th inning. Fastball from Syndergaard, but he has remained in the game. Jimmy Herget looking to make quick work of the Red Sox here in the 7th. Foul back.
That's
caught a part of
happy about that one. Yeah. Getting that one back.
And that one back.
That's the part of the plate as the hitter has right there.
Yes.
So you don't want him to be comfortable, especially 0-2. You fought to get to this position.
Right.
You want him to chase something well out of the strike zone now. See how quickly Jimmy makes the adjustment.
And that one caught part of the zone, hit well, but Brandon Marsh right there. So a 1-2-3 third for Jimmy Herget, and we're heading to the bottom of the 7th. And Mike Trout is leading off with the Angels down a run.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Where there's baseball,
one pitch away
from baseball history, there's drama.
He has thrown a no-hitter.
Where there's baseball,
Near the wall,
there's action.
he made a phenomenal catch.
And where there's baseball,
let's go live inside the park.
There's MLB Tonight.
On MLB Network.
Oh, wow.
Where there's baseball, all the time.
Unbelievable.
We've seen it time and time again.
Coverage cam. And for a Monday night, June 6th, here at the Big A, it's just perfect baseball weather. Great fans, edge of their seat. Michael Wacha facing Michael Trout.
Jump on the first pitch, Trouty here.
Wasn't given the opportunity. Third ball misses 1-0. Trout is 1 for 2. Singled in the first.
He's given up 4 home runs this season. Twice he's given up home runs, the 3rd time through a lineup.
That's where Michael Wacha is, right here, third time through.
Good take up above the strike zone.
He's got himself a count. The 2-1. Inside, 3-1.
If you try to run that fastball in on the hands of Trout, 3-1. See if Trout's aggressive. Trout's going to try to catch that out in front. Hook it down that left field line.
They're going to go the other way, it appeared. Went down, fouled that off. Red Sox have a shift on the left side.
Trout, a .333 career hitter versus a pitcher he's seen 3 times in a game. Third time through for Trout, a lot of success.
And that's a walk. That's the first walk for Wacha. First walk in 3 games. That is big. Brings up Jared Walsh.
Now scorer moving around. Trouty has not attempted a stolen base this season. Walker's only allowed 1 stolen base. Overall, he's got 6 career pickoffs. He's got a good move to first base. He's allowed 49 stolen bases in 60 attempts. Vasquez is thrown out 24% of base stealers this year.
You kind of have a sense that maybe Trouty's due to be on the move. Oh, that would have been interesting. Had he not pulled that foul, upper tank way up there.
They caught it on the carom.
As you like to say, you think any chance that guy up there
no chance
thought he was getting a souvenir? Well, that changeup must have looked like a beach ball to Walshy. Not much of a lead.
Trout's never been a guy that gets more than an 11-foot lead, though. Even when he was stealing a lot of bases, he pretty much stays that same exact spot. It's all about reading the pitcher anyhow for Trout. It's a quick read of his move from Michael Wacha.
We're in the bottom of the 7th. 1-0 Boston. Nobody out. Trout at first. Walsh at the plate. Michael Wacha's only allowed 3 hits. That was his first walk of the game. Did the boos ever bother you when you would continue to throw over to try to like hold Ricky from stealing?
No, you've already cleared the mechanism. You don't hear the stands.
All right.
Once you're on the mound, when you're walking off the mound, there's a little different story.
Change up, 0-2. Jared Walsh has had great success against Boston, but also just in general. Gooby, last 12 games versus the first 40. Up and down the lineup, average on-base percentage, OPS, and he's hitting the baseball extremely
Look how much that on-base percentage, 55-point improvement in the last 12 games. That's a tough swing there because you've been waiting for a pitch to be thrown. He threw a changeup after 3 consecutive pickoff throws. He was out in front.
0-2. Line drive. Oh, right at Devers, leaps up, makes the catch. He was somehow in the right place at the right time.
And that's frustration for Jared Walsh. He hit and did everything you want him to do on that swing. And that baseball has a shot at rolling for a long time in the outfield because he hit it that hard. And where the defense was set up, that had a shot. Verdugo was on the move, thinking he had to go try to cut that one off with Trout's speed. Good swing, though. Nice play by Devers.
It was a good swing, going the opposite way with the 2 strikes.
He's really improved defensively. His fielding percentage, .963. You go back to 2020, .891 fielding percentage. Devers has really improved.
That's Stassi. Swing and a miss. There's that cutter. Tough break there. Just misses 1-1.
This gets the point of the game for the Red Sox where it gets a little scary for the Red Sox nation because their bullpen and who's actually going to be potentially coming in at some point for Michael Wacha, who's been outstanding so far. There's 3 hits allowed.
Austin Davis currently up in the bullpen. Ground ball. This could be 2. There's 1. Story over to first. Double play ends it. That's 7 scoreless for Michael Wacha. Head to the 8th, 1-0.
I hate when reality.
It's like the hitters know what I'm gonna throw every time.
It's cheating. It's not fair.
Hi, I'm retired MLB pitcher CC Sabathia, and pitchers across America are sad. If I was still pitching, I'd be sad too. But since I'm retired and my son Carson's a hitter, we love when reality.
Yeah, I train in here and get to see game speed pitches, work on my timing, and my pitch recognition. Plus, this pitcher doesn't get tired like...
Watch yourself.
Want to know what other guys are saying about RexMD.com?
This was my first time using telemedicine, and I'd recommend this process to anyone. The total experience was amazing. I couldn't be happier with the product.
Here's how RexMD.com works. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you can try a starter pack of generic Viagra, which are currently available to new customers. Your consultation is free. There's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. RexMD.com is now offering starter packs of generic Viagra. Visit RexMD.com.
Hey, it's me, the summer breeze. I just flew back into town. Let's get outside. Much better.
Welcome outside the Big Egg. Ken French, Garrett Anderson. Tim Salmon will also join us for the Angels Live postgame show presented by the OC Healthcare Agency. We'll be talking about Noah Syndergaard's outing this evening, of course, but hopefully we're talking about a win. GA, after we go 3 up, 3 down here in the 8th inning, what do we need to do? Get some traffic on the bases.
Maybe get the monkey to show up, huh? That's going back a little too far. But yes, get some base runners going, get things going. Try to at least tie it up.
Yeah, let's work it, work the counts, get the monkey going, and set it inside of the boys. As Herget back on the hill for Gooby and Patrick.
Appreciate it, boys. Never too late for the monkey to make an appearance. You know that, GA. We need whatever it takes. Jimmy Herget has a tough part of this Boston lineup, to say the least. Devers, JD Martinez, and Xander Bogaerts. It's a 1-0 game here, top of the 8th. Imperative that you keep Boston off the scoreboard. Angels had a leadoff walk. Mike Trout last inning had an opportunity early in the game in the first inning. Other than that, though, Michael Wacha's been pretty good. That's hit well, right field. Joe Adell makes the catch. Woo! You know, there's a bank of lights. I'm sure Tim Salmon would be able to tell us about that. But that's just an out.
Ball was hit well, too, by Devers. He had a couple baseballs on the money the last 2 at-bats. Trout runs one down, and now Adell, 104 miles per hour exit velocity. Able to control that baseball in the glove, just an out.
You think that had any kind of a knuckle effect?
And
the way
that top hand spin.
Yeah, and just because
like a Bjorn Borg serve.
Okay, nice. He kind of hit it like Roscoe Tanner, though. But oh, that one's hit well in the corner and fair. JD Martinez. That's what he does. It's a 1-out double.
Felt this was going to be a really tough matchups here for Jimmy Herget. He's going to have to make some really good pitches. Devers hit that well. Now JD Martinez stays back. That's usually his approach, to line the ball the other way. He just keeps that fair. His 19th double. On base 3 times.
He has such good numbers here at the Big A as a Red Sox. Not even funny. He's 2 for 3. And that's what he wanted to do to Noah Syndergaard, go the opposite way. He had an opportunity there against Herget, brings up Xander Bogaerts. 1 down. JD Martinez at second base. Ball 1. Bogaerts 1 for 3 with a double. That was only the 5th hit of the ball game for Boston. Nervous time here at the Big A.
Bullpen now getting activated.
Oliver Ortega. Has such tremendous stuff. See how hot he can get, how quick he can get heated up, that is. 2-0.
It's one of those times, too, is a catcher might go out there, and there's a visit, is to give him an opportunity to get some more throws in. That slow walk.
So we have a meeting at the mound. So with that happening, let's give you a quick word from Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own it in the Hyundai Santa Fe.
Gooby, in a situation like this, when would you want Ortega to come into the game? Let's say, have to see what happens here. Do you attack Bogaerts? Try to get back in the count? You want Ortega to come in to face Verdugo?
I think that's the thought process now that you're behind 2-0. So now you put yourself in a position against Bogaerts where he can sit on a pitch in his spot. So I would be real careful with him now.
Nice pitch.
I mean, that's the perfect spot. That's an unhittable spot. Sinker on the outside corner at the knees. If he's able to hit that one, you've done everything well as a pitcher. But I still won't get anything near the middle of the plate against him. I still try to get him to chase and take on Verdugo.
2-1 fly ball, right field. Joe Adell under it, hit well. JD Martinez is going to tag up. Long throw, not in time. Now with 2 outs, Martinez now 90 feet away.
It's a pretty good throw by Joe Adell. See what type of arm he has.
So that will bring up Alex Verdugo. 2 down. That is a big add-on run at third base right now.
Think about lefties versus Jimmy Herget coming in this game. 263 lefties versus Oliver Ortega. It's 179.
Just don't know if he got warmed up quick enough. Right in the middle of the plate before a strike. Here's the 0-1. Oh, backs up in there. 0-2.
Back to back. Slider's almost exact same spot. Now you're looking for a solid defensive play here.
What do you want to see? 0-2. Maybe that sinker just on the out on that corner.
Yeah, just have it look like a strike and run off the outside corner.
The 0-2.
That's a little bit too far off the outside corner.
That's all right.
But it's still, that's what you wanted to try to throw, especially if you establish you can backdoor your slider on the corner. And hitters in protect mode, it just wasn't close enough to get him to go after it.
So he's shown 3 straight sliders. And the 1-2. Oh, and he got him.
That's the frisbee.
Atta boy. Goes to the frisbee curveball, Gooby.
Flipped it in there at 74. No contact. Down by 1 now.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Seriously? Performances, too!
Oh, come on!
Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price.
Am I underdressed?
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but here's the secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers. Like we do. Oh hi, we're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You can try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
On the date in Angels history when the Rally Monkey first made an appearance back in 2000. He's here in full effect. Angels down 1-0, bottom of the 8th inning. Franchi Cordero moves from first base to right field. Bobby Dahlbeck comes in, defensive purposes now at first base.
He's a tall target at first. Also a former pitcher in college.
Remember, Christian Arroyo was hit by that pitch earlier in the game. Don't know if that had any impact or just defensive-minded Alex Cora. Michael Wacha remains out there facing Brandon Marsh, quickly ahead 0-2.
Remember, he's been throwing that high fastball, especially against left-handed batters when he's ahead with 2 strikes. Very efficient as far as pitch count. Twice he had less than 10 pitches in an inning, the first and the 5th. Never has really been taxed. It's 18 pitches, most he's thrown in an inning.
Remember in that first inning, Gooby, he allowed 2 singles. That was a chance for the Angels to strike early. But a line drive double play. Costly. Tawny was thrown out at second base. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. One away.
That high fastball again with 2 strikes. And he's not 98, 99 anymore, but his fastball, because his changeup is so good, it's very difficult to lay off upstairs. It's not a lot of spin as far as spin rate on his fastball, 4-seamer, but he spots it very well.
5 strikeouts for Wacha, 4 of the 5 swinging. So with 1 down, here's Luis Rengifo. First pitch swinging, he pops it up. Jackie Bradley's there, no problem. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Get out and play this play ball weekend, June 10th through 12th. Free events are being held in communities across the country. Register your kids today. Visit MLB.com/playballweekend for more information. So Gooby with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th, and Joe Adell. Listen, Joe Adell's got enough power. He could tie this thing up with 1 swing of the bat. But if you look ahead, you want some traffic. You want the big boys coming up in the bottom of the 9th if necessary. And gets the call. That's been called pretty much all night.
How many pitches has he thrown today anywhere near the middle of the plate, though? He's been very, very effective.
He's been spotting his pitches so well.
That was one of the few, and you see his reaction. That was a cutter. Remember, he's given up 3 home runs versus his cutter, and that was the pitch that you could do the damage to. He hasn't made many mistakes, but that was that cutter.
Instead, it's a foul ball and a strike, and it's 0-2 to Adele. And he gets the call. That's been called all night. Strikes out Adele, a 1-2-3-8. It's still 1-0 Boston.
Every game, every night, everything you need to see. Get all the highlights with the fastest hour on television. Quick Pitch, late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network.
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup, or runs one down.
He caught it! Oh, you won't see a better one than that!
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
Baseball on Valley Sports is brought to you by the OC Healthcare Agency. Build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. By Carl's Jr., sink your teeth into the new Primal menu and beyond. Raptor at Carl's Jr. feeds your happy. By Metro Water District, get a rebate to remove your lawn and put in California-friendly plants. For water-saving tips, go to BeWaterWise.com. The new City Connect jerseys in the team store right now, and Gooby, you had those on. You were sporting them with some of the players, and Justin Herbert, quarterback of the LA Chargers. Those things are flying off the shelves. They're, by the way, like hotcakes.
Every fan is absolutely loving those unis right now, so see if we can get some positive energy from that.
I don't think hotcakes,
shot of them.
They don't fly off shelves, hotcakes, do they?
Well, we're making them do.
Those will be debuted on Saturday, those City Connect Angels uniforms. And one thing that Joe Maddon said about them, real quick, he called them tasty.
Well, that's always a good thing.
It is. That's what the kids call it. Here's Trevor Story. Andrew Wantz is the pitcher now for the Halos. We're in the top of the 9th inning. And there's a little cue ball to Jared Walsh. Handles that and retires Trevor Story. 1 away.
Pitched Trevor Story very well today. A pop up to first, a ground ball to first, and 2 strikeouts looking.
Due up for the Angels in the bottom of the 9th. You have Andrew Velasquez, who's due up. We'll see what Joe decides to do there, followed by Duffy and Ohtani. And should anybody reach, Mike Trout. Nobody up in the bullpen right now for Boston. Michael Wacha, 8 scoreless so far, has 1 career complete game. You have to go back to July of 2017 for that. That was a shutout of the New York Mets. Back when he was a St. Louis Cardinal, former All-Star with the Cards, and had some pretty good playoff success in 2013 and NLCS MVP. Back in the count, 3-1.
The hardest outs for any starting pitcher is the last 3 outs of a game. So you just got to create some doubts, some traffic, and get the right people up in the 9th inning. That means Mike Trout getting a chance to swing the bat. Unless Shohei can hit a 2-run home run to end it up.
Take that. The 3-2. Got him looking. Gets the call. Cordero not happy. Chris Conroy has been generous in the calls off the plate. 2 away.
That's off the plate. And you keep that glove there by Stassi. Just left it there, got the call. Didn't move it, didn't try to bring it back in the strike zone. Ends up getting the call.
That's been a wide zone all night for Conroy. Brings up Christian Vasquez with 2 down. Angels have lost 11 games in a row. Swing and a miss.
Well, you got to find a way to score a run there if you get through this inning, because that's a tough run they scored, the Red Sox.
Yep.
For this 1-0 lead.
Yeah, from first base, Verdugo on a single. And this play in the outfield, that's been it. Syndergaard, excellent through 6. Herget was very good in 2, and here's Wentz. 0-2.
That's some tough at bats against Syndergaard, where he had some, especially that bat where he got the hit. He's behind in the count, and that at bat, but fought back to a 3-2 count.
Only RBI of the game belongs to Vasquez. That one's upstairs. Single season club record for losses is 12 straight back in 1988. Only longer streak was 13-game losing streak. And that also included the carryover first game of the season, 89. So 13 is a franchise record. Andrew Wance's job is to keep it right here, 1-0. Give the Angels a chance in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Spikes that one in there, 2-2. That's a pop-up. Velasquez going back. Brandon Marsh coming in. He has it. Last chance coming up for the Angels. And Ohtani hopes he gets an opportunity to beat that man.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Nice throw.
Major League Baseball and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
That's beautiful.
Are dedicated to guiding kids through the first tries.
It's all good, Aaron.
The curveballs.
There you go.
And the big dreams. Setting them up to make great plays. On and off the field. Building brighter futures together.
Baseball on Bally Sports is brought to you by Metro Water District. Get a rebate to remove your lawn and put in California-friendly plants. For water-saving tips, go to bewaterwise.com. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Well, this man stands in the way of the Angels trying to snap the losing streak, and he's trying for a complete game shutout. 8 scoreless so far for Michael Wacha. Gooby, what do you think's going through his mind? In fact, you know better than anybody.
Well, the thing is, the first batter of the inning, that's all you're thinking about as a pitcher when you have this working. You have no room for error at all. But here, going back to our Hyundai key for the game today, don't look back, look forward. There's an opportunity now to pull this one off and create some very good momentum. If you can pull this one out, top of the order coming up. Velasquez got to get on base here, create that doubt.
Velasquez first pitch swinging. That's a flare to left field. And coming in on it is Verdugo. 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th. That's that big out that you were talking about. He gets it.
And that's one of those ones you get a little bit of a breather too. You get a quick out like that. And the one career complete game was a shutout for Michael Wacha.
He's only at 98 pitches. He's got to put on a clinic here. 4 hits allowed. One of them to this man here, Matt Duffy. A swing and a miss at that cutter. It's 0-1.
Now you shorten up. You try to tie it up at one swing. Now you go back to that big field approach.
The 0-1, it's now 0-2. Change up. His 100th pitch was a beauty.
And just 8 pitches in the 8th inning. At 8 in the 5th, 9 in the 1st.
Figured he was going to go to a fastball upstairs.
It's been very effective.
Red Sox coming off a 3-game sweep of the Oakland A's. They're on a 10-game road trip. 4 with the Angels and then 3 up in Seattle. Good take there. They've won 4 in a row overall. And coming in as one of the hottest teams in baseball, they've turned their season around to get back to 500. Angels just trying to find a way to reclaim some of the magic they had earlier in the season.
Good battle.
We saw some bullpen arms for Boston. Gooby, do you think that's to face Ohtani?
No, if he's able to get...
They'd have to let him try for the CG, right? Alex Cora is similar, I would imagine, as far as understanding stakes in history to what Joe Maddon would do.
Red Sox this season with 2 complete games. Eovaldi, Pivetta, we're going to see both of them in this series.
Angels have yet to announce their starters for the remaining 3 games. The 1-2 hit well, but stopped by Story, and he makes a nice play to throw out Duffy. 2 down. Hit pretty well. I thought had a chance to skip through, but
that's a shortstop playing second base.
Right.
You know he's got the hands, even though he had that one high throw to first base.
Ohtani. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Angels down a run. 11 homers on the season for Shohei. Ground ball. Story throws, and he gets Ohtani. Boston takes the opener. Complete game shutout for Michael Wacha.
Gets 2 one-pitch outs in the 9th inning. His stuff was that good.
His second career shutout. Gooby, he is, of course, the Toyota player of the game.
He was outstanding. When you talk about pitch efficiency throughout, not overpowering, he pitched. Used his changeup, had some cutters in there, much better with his cutters. Four-seamer was very solid. He threw the ball well. Noah Syndergaard threw the ball exceptionally well. They score a run on a play in the outfield to throw into the infield. That was a difference in the game.
All right, 12 losses now in a row for the Angels. Bouncing back tomorrow. Stick around. Angels Live complete recap next.